Hi, things! Hi, everybody! How was your weekend? Hi! Hello! I have been mostly sleeping. Honestly, a fair use of time on the weekend. I don't sleep on weekends, I work on weekends, but I'm insane. Hi! I've been mostly working. Oh my god, same. Ready for some game theories? You betcha! Hello, when are you not insane? Never. Lily, when do you not work? When I am asleep? Even Dizzy's intimidated by your work ethic. Well, my work ethic is kind of scary, but like, it's okay. It's just because I really like what I do. Even on days where I'm like, I don't want to do anything, I gravitate back to the computer. My hand is holding the stylus before I even know. Thanks so much for the follow. What's happening? The stylus calls you. I like blink and I'm holding it. It's like, fuck. No chill. But how are you guys? My weekend was like boring work and that's it. Not boring, I love it, but like it's just work. Tell me about your day. How do you deal with wrist cramps? You have to stretch and take 10-minute breaks every 2 hours. Do nothing while you're taking breaks. Nothing. House cleaning. Honestly, valid. Crafting 14. I miss crafting. I got my driver's license. Oh, I need to get my license here. I went on a marathon. Oh, awesome. I can't do sports. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I'm I'm chronically fucking clumsy. I was talking about it with a friend the other day. He's like, do you ever like do stretches and stuff? And I was like, no. I'm like, I've fallen off stationary bikes, mama. The subs on the 31st say otherwise. My exercise machine has handles for me to hang on to so I don't fall on my butt. How? My foot got stuck in the pedal when I was getting off the bike and I just tumbled off of it. I just enjoyed a cocktail called Presidente. It's rum, blanc, vermouth, extra sweet and French, orange liquor, grenadine, and orange twist. That sounds lovely, actually. Lily, how? I told you, my foot got stuck in the pedal and I just went, ugh. Don't let the clumser swing in the car. She must become the second Asgore. No! Believe it or not, I am a pretty good driver because I have anxiety. So I'm like hyper aware of my surroundings at all times. I learned how to drive in Mexico City. Once you learn how to drive in Mexico City, you can drive anywhere. I'm not great at parking, but that's because I'm like nearsighted. Yeah, I am a pretty decent driver. You should see my mom. But yeah, like, driving here in Spain, I feel like it's gonna be easier because everybody follows all the traffic laws and everybody drives pretty slowly. So, from how I learned how to drive to how people drive here, easy peasy. But it takes a lot longer to get your license because you actually have to do a test here. You have to take you have to take some driving lessons, you have to do a written test, a practical test, and you have to have like a health checkup.
Were you the one who ran over Des?
No, I haven't driven in 8 years. Thank you for the super chat. Except bike users, fuck bike users. Fuck bike users. Okay, I have a vendetta against cyclists in this fucking country. So, A funny thing about the island is that there's a lot of little villages, like, throughout, right? Like, there's 2 or 3 moderately sized cities, and then there's, like, villages everywhere. And to get to these villages, you have to drive through the mountains. Now, driving through the mountains can be very relaxing, very fun, but the problem is, it's usually, like, single lane, not one way, like, dual way. Single lane, and if there is a cyclist, you have to fucking basically tailgate their asses until they either move or you're stuck like that for the rest of the road. And cyclists come to this fucking island in droves because the mountainous terrain is great for training cyclists. So whenever I'm like trying to go somewhere, like if my parents are visiting, it's like, move! I hate them. Like, I'm pretty sure most locals fucking despise the cyclists too, because getting anywhere in the mountains because of them is so annoying. Hi! Yo, if there's a cyclist in front of you, you become the cyclist. You have to basically slow way the fuck down. I'm not gonna ride a bike, but I'm terrified. It's not that hard! Riding a bike is actually really easy. You wanna know how I learned? I fell a lot. I fell a lot, but I just got back up and back on the bike until I got it. Damn, it's almost as if they have designated lanes. Not here, mama. Are you kidding me? Yee-ass mountain roads that are like super narrow. They don't have bike lanes. Also, I loved my grandpa casually going like, oh yeah, I like fucking biked off this cliff once. I was like, what? And he was like, oh yeah, there's another little like bit below it. So I landed fine. I was like, what do you mean you biked off a cliff? He's like, yeah, but like the town's right there. I didn't fall off the mountain or anything. By the way, hi Lily, how's Hubby? Hubby is playing Donkey Kong and he's very pleased with himself. The resilience of youth. Is he making happy noises? No, he's just playing. Monkey happy indeed. What about ooking noises? He hasn't made any. Will there be a vid and we're watching, or like a PowerPoint? I have a document, but we're gonna do some things before we dive right into that one. Has he been eating banana? I have not bought a single banana in like 3 weeks. Would you say that DK Bonanza is worth the price? I would say yes. It's not 80. It runs decently well for the most part. There's a lot of stuff to do, and it's a very fun game. You need more potassium. Oh boy, I sure could use some shilling to remember what things to come in the future. Oh, right! I forgot. Right, thank you, mods. I forgot. Right, shilling ahoy. So, remember, next week, finally, I finished my fucking 2.0 model. So next week, we're having a little event. We're having a subathon, not subathon, sub-event. Could become longer if we meet goals and whatnot. At the very least, I know I'm probably going to be streaming for like 6 hours, which is 2 hours longer. Which actually, no, 5 hours, which is 2 hours longer than what I usually go for. But there's gonna be lots of fun things that we can do, lots of fun goals that you guys can get to. You guys would get to do stuff like pick emotes and like what if you want to see a voice comic. Which one, bitch? Also getting me to play Silent Hill, making me exercise, making me eat things, asking me questions, making me draw things from memory. Please don't. I have like a shit short-term memory. It's gonna look like butt, but you can still do it! And it's gonna be so fucking fun. And it's all going down this Thursday. Making me eat things, don't eat us. You guys are fine. Will it be at the usual time? Yes, yeah, the stream starts at the usual time, 10 p.m. CET, or 10 p.m. in a bit, because you guys know that no streamer starts on time ever. But 10 p.m. CET, July 31st, new comic is gonna drop the same day, and it's gonna be super fun. But the main thing to know is that if you guys give subs and or channel memberships, YouTube is also invited to this, you can unlock some cool goals, or you can get some cool incentives. Either way, it's gonna be a good time, baby! What's the comic about? Lily! What does eat one piece mean? The read didn't fit in the box. But I'll, like, eat a volume if I have to. It's a lot of paper. Who is the Lily Goth Lily? Me, but with a typo that I refuse to fix, because you know what? It's just funnier that way. It's probably been about a year since I've actually been in chat, but I wanted to come in and say thank you. Watching your stream helped me out of a pretty rough spot, and I'm really thankful. Oh, I'm glad to hear it. Lily being gay. Lily being gay! That's the comic. That's it. It would be the second comic about Lily Goth that I'd make, actually, with the pink thing being the first one. But it's gonna be super fun, and we're gonna have a lot of stuff to do. We're also gonna have some other goodies that I haven't told you guys about yet, which are gonna be really fun. Gonna show you a bunch of stuff, and we're gonna chat shit, we're gonna do things, we're gonna fucking, hopefully set up some fun streams, and who knows, if I meet all of the goals, which, who knows at this point, maybe, maybe not, I can add stretch goals, because why not? So remember, July 31st, be here or be square, I don't care. Come hang out for a while, it's gonna be super fun. Your comments are very informative. Just say, Lily, thank you! The real Lily Goth is a friend we had along the way. I like that you guys are spelling it wrong now, I enjoy it. The stretch goals will be Lily stretching. I mean, I might have to. If I have to get on my little bike thingy, well, not bike, like my little stepping machine, I might have to stretch at some point. What would you do if it comes time to sleep? Play our old streams or pause the subathon? Pause the subathon. I can't make a traditional subathon, sadly, because I have a job that does not let me stream it. If I worked normally, like with safe for work shit, I would just be drawing the entire day while I streamed. But sadly, I would get borked immediately. I would get banned. So if you guys want to extend this and make it like a proper subathon, it would have to be in my regular stream time, if that makes sense. So I can work during the day. Because sadly, Twitch says no boob. La dislexia atrapó Lili. Siempre, güey. So yeah, it's not a traditional subathon in that sense. For now, I'm doing it for the one day, but we can extend it. We can talk about it. If we're just having a great time and we want to keep it going the next day, we can. Oh yeah, I've already shown my face before. I have no issue with that. No streaming, not safe for drawings, but streaming on other platforms. No, because the whole point of a subathon is to keep streaming in like the one place. Can't you just draw off screen while the stream is going? I guess I could. I guess I could, but I'll consider it. Ever thought of making Fansly or OnlyFans for not safe work art? I have an OnlyFans, but I don't use it. Maybe Fansly if they allow drawing streams, but like here's the thing. I enjoy streaming on Twitch and on YouTube, and I don't have time to stream more than 3 hours a day, so I would only consider having Fansly streams if I was doing like work streams. And then you guys would see what I'm working on, which would ruin the surprise. Well, the reason that hot top streamers don't get borked is that they're not showing actual peen and vagine. I draw actual explicit content, so I can understand why Twitch wouldn't like that. I've seen your butt, but not your face. Ew! Some people have, yeah, but no, I've shown my face before. But yeah. Sub-event, July 31st. Be there or be square, baby!
I'm at a girl's sleepover. They don't know I'm pretending to be gay.
But what if you're actually gay? Thank you for the super chat. Just take that butt picture and add a pair of googly eyes. I could do that. When the girls turn you gay. It's a bit sad though. I would like to see your ad process. I could do it with extra stuff like I did for like the Taskmaster, well, manager rather, and the Nuber and whatnot, which I have almost finished. But I would not be able to do it with my weekly comics because I want you guys to be surprised. When people know what's coming, they get bored. The tiny rotating you is sweet as fuck. Thank you! I need the mini Lily up there for the ADHDers. Just came back from the Ado concert. It was incredible. Oh, I wish I could see her perform. It sounds like such a good time. Is the mini Lily getting a 2.0 update too? No, she's gonna stay the same for now. Maybe I'll update it at some point, but god, she was so hard to set up. I'm like, but there's gonna be some cool stuff that you guys are gonna be able to see. I need to ask something. I'm about to join a club for school. Should I choose choir or drama? I just want to get your thoughts. Depends on what you want to do. Do you want to sing or act or perform and sing? Because drama, if you guys do musicals, you can sing as well. But choir, you just have to stand there and sing. So it depends on the amount of activity you want to do.
I'm finally back from my 8-day leave. I'm glad to be able to watch stream again. Also happy 1 year.
Woo! Thank you for the sub! I hope you had a good time. Thank you. A question: will your 2.0 model still be 2D? Yes, it's still a PNG tuber. One of the stretch goal, one of the final goals for the sub event is a live 2D model. I will make that happen if that goal is met. By the way, like I will draw it myself, but I'm probably gonna have to get help with the rigging and the breaking it down. Dizzy's like, I'll help you, which is so sweet. Like Dizzy wants me to get a live 2D one, which it would be really fun, but right now it's not in the cards unless we hit that goal. The 3D Lily would be very, very funny because I would have to get a mocap suit and you guys would see all the dumb shit I do while I'm streaming, which is essentially... Well, no, because if you get a 3D, you use it for other stuff. Like, I would just walk around the room. Like, I have space in my office for a 3D setup. I just would not know how to use it. A good rigger costs an arm and a leg, though. It's an investment, baby. I would not get a traditional live 2D model of, like, just the character standing in a neutral pose. I would get something that's already posed. Like, something that's, like, sitting around, or just, like, looking cute. Full Lily Alchemist. Yeah, but like getting a good rig, like I think it is an investment. I always say that if you want to get like a live 2D, you don't need to get like a super fancy one to start out with. I mean, look at the scuff I had at the start, for fuck's sake. You guys have seen my first PNG tuber. I am at the point though where if I do want to get a live 2D, I would like to invest in it because I stream pretty much every day and I do want to do more just chatting / react content in the future because sometimes after a full day of drawing, I am dead tired and I do not have the energy to play a video game. Sometimes the fucking ye old hand injury is annoying too. "3D Lily feels like it would be biblically accurate. I would probably not try to make it super complicated. I have a lot of hair. Do you know if the Christmas in July sale ends on the 31st or is it going to last until the end of the week? I'm not sure, actually. I can ask my partnership manager, though. Right now, I know it's still going on, so remember to use code KINKYMATION if you want 10% off your entire purchase, and you can also get gifts with the tubs that you buy. More KFC Double Down content, please. I will fucking cook one for you guys. I will learn how to make it, and I'll make the Double Down. I'll learn how to fry chicken in the fucking good, old American South way, and fucking make the Double Down. Do you watch other VTubers? Sometimes. I'm not the type of person that often turns into streams, so I usually watch, like, highlights. Like, I watched a lot of highlights for Dizzy. I did watch some streams. But usually, if I'm tuning into other content creators, it's to highlights, because I'm not, like, a big person. I don't have the patience to sit through streams, which is really funny, because I like streaming. But usually, I watch highlights. Do you have a favorite? No, I watch a decent amount of them, though. Alright, that's enough yapping about this for now. So, before we jump into my, my document that was put together by Dusky and Sharky, I did miss a room in chapter 3 that I haven't done yet. So we're gonna go and do Mike's room. Well, chapter 4 rather. We're gonna go and do Mike's room real quick. And then watch the bits of weird mode that I'm missing on YouTube, and then we're gonna get into theory crafting. Because I am missing that context, and I need it. Okay. I forgot you did weird. How was it? I felt like an asshole! I felt like the biggest fucking dick. But yeah, let's do Mike's room because I didn't actually do it. It was weird. It was very creepy. 6453. Okay. Wait, did you do weird in one stream? I only did chapter 2 is weird. Would you say it made you feel worse than the genocide in Undertale? I never did genocide, but yes. I think that, like, in genocide, it's like playing a video game the way it's intended to be played, which is, you know, you kill everything like a turn-based RPG. But in the weird route, you deliberately have to go out of your way to be a dick to Noelle, and that made me really, really uncomfortable. It's a statue. Mike, what the fuck? It's a statue. It has cat ears. Pet it! What?
What do you think about character designs from Jeff Matsuda or Gendy Tartakovsky? Any chance for reaction to their works? These two are my favorites.
I actually have no idea who they are, but thank you for the super chat. That's a lot of hats. It seems that Mouse is terrified of the statue. Pet it. You saved the mice from the cat statue. They consider you their hero. The mice transform from admiration. Oh, they want to be used. Oh, Joy, can you figure out some way to use the mice? 2 Joy-Con controllers require... Ah, chingada madre. Hold on, let me get them. Toby! Meow. Yandy's the creator of Dexter's Lab, Samurai Jack, Primal, and others. Oh, yeah, I like their art style. Do I have to use them like mice? I have to use them like mice, don't I? I'll use them on my thighs! Ah! Good thing I have a lot of room. Oh my god, this is a travesty. Oh yeah, baby! How many hats? Oh shit! Oh, ooh, garbage. Ooh, garbage! Can I stack hats? Hey, baby! Woohoo! I pet this. More petting! Oh, this is so hard to do. I need to save. Oh, banana. This is terrible. Toby, I hate this. Oh! Am I still gonna need these? All right, I can't slide the Joy-Cons back into my fucking Switch. I have to click them back on. Fuck. I'm so confused! Hold on. I can do this. I'm too far away! Is this normal or weirdo? This is normal. Toby, what the fuck was he smoking when he decided to make this? This is really annoying! Oh! Hey, the heck are you doing in here? Have you ever used a mouse in your life, woman? I like my tablet, thank you very much. Didn't you read that door? Yeah, it said Mike. And you still went inside? What? What? You think you're Mike or something? I'm Mike. Wrong. Are you getting this? You hearing yourself yapping your room noise? Yeah, actually, all the time. No, mic check. There's only one real Mike. And that's me. Oh. Oh no! Chichis con chamoy, no. Oh no, I'm not doing this. Fuck no. Let's move on to theories, okay? Okay, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing it! Thank you for the raid. I'll do it later. No, don't chicken out. We have a lot. We have a whole other stream planned for today, and if I get stuck on Mike of all things, that's it for the theory crafting, mama. But Lily, the content, It gives lore, Lily. I can watch it on YouTube. Coward, abso-fucking-lutely. I think that's the fastest fuck this I've ever seen from Lily. Yeah. It could be so much worse. PC uses microphone controls. No! Really? Lazy Lily's funny. It's not lazy. It's more like I have a whole entire other stream planned. If I get stuck in a fight, we're boned, so. I expected it to be a room. I went in, I talked to someone, I got out. I had to scream into my headset for that fight. No! Oh my god, that would have sucked. Okay. So is Toby letting out his sadism for the players on that fight, or yeah? Hi. Okay, so this document was made for me kindly by Sharky and Dusky, who are in the Discord server. They put all of this together for me to react to look at.
Please understand. We want to have fun, not give Lily a migraine.
Like, we want to give Lily a migraine, but we want to have fun while we're doing it. So before we actually jump into it, we need to go to the bits of the weird route that I did not finish. So let's do that first. Weird route, it's an 1.5 hours long with timestamps. We don't need to do the 1.5 hours long version. We just need the chapter 3 and 4 references. Okay. I will treat this as if I was playing the game. Okay. You know, this morning, Noelle was saying, I wonder if Chris is going tomorrow, too. Just make sure she has fun, all right? Chris, you came over to check on me? That's really nice of you, Do you think I could talk to you later?
If there was a fiction character you could bring into real world to smash, who would it be? Games, anime, anything goes.
It's a good question, actually. Any of my OCs, probably? Or Bayonetta. I like Bayonetta. Thank you for the super chat. Okay. Key? Yeah, I think I was singing a bit off key. Can you blame me for being distracted? I feel bad for Noelle. You explained the situation to Susie. So the only two leads we got are Undine and the mayor, huh? I guess if we think about the three symbols on the shelter, that pretty much tracks. One looked like the church symbol. Don't got that code yet, but it could be here. One looked like the badge the cops wear. So Undine probably knew something too. One looked like a pine tree, and the mayor... Like trees, right? I mean, there's one in City Hall. Maybe that's why the knight captured Undine. They wanted to take their code so they could get in. But in that case, they'd have to know the other two codes too. Somebody who goes to church, who knows the mayor, who also has something to do with the cops. Who the hell could that be? Guess City Hall's our best bet for now. What, Noelle said her mom keeps everything important at home? Yeah, wait, now that I think about it, the mayor's Noelle's mom, right? Maybe if we tried. Chris, and Susie? Would you want to come by my house and, work on our projects after church? Huh? Yeah, of course! Great! Sweet baby dear. I'll, go bring my dad back to the hospital. Cool, that's, awesome. See you later. Too easy, right? Boom! Give me 5! What's up? You got something against Noelle, Chris? No. Like, hey, maybe things took a weird route right now? Is that why they call it that? I mean, who'd expect she asked us like that? But we should be glad it's going so fast, right? Right? Hey, how about some of the red stuff? No? You're lost. No, you're gonna want it later. So, Chris in the weird route goes, like, completely cryptid. Let's just go already. Like, super fucking dead. What, you wanna go in by yourself? Whatever. No, Birdly! Well, at least he's alive. Birdly! Is he okay? Is he dead? Birdly, no! That's a big heating pad. He's breathing slowly. Might be your imagination, but he seems cold. Heat him up! Don't leave him. Don't be a dick. What a bitch! You turned on the space heater to a higher setting. The space heater is running. Poor Birdly! Birdly's in there, right? Don't give me bird flu or whatever he has. Remember we didn't know the fate for Birdly in this route since 2021? Literally no idea. He's out cold. Oh! Oh, Chris, how are your adventures going? You didn't happen to recruit any cyber guys, did you? Maybe even a smart coffee machine? No? Well, at least say hi to Noelle for me. Chris, do you have any games on your phone? I mean to turn into Darkners. Chris, I will give you 40 net coins to let me befriend Flapping Bird. She's so lonely! Boy, oh boy, I'm trashy. I sure love being a wacky roommate. I wish. Lately, I'm the only one that picks up and puts trash into their body. I wish my roommate was a little more like me. A giant bouncy trash can, but with big red lips and eyelashes like a girl. Okay, should we, get started? Oh, yeah, sure. So what are your projects about? Oh, well, Sorry, phone call. I'll be just a sec. Hi, Mom. What's up? Yeah, I took Dad home, so it's just, me here. Huh? No problem. I can probably just cook something. Gosh, Mom, I'm not going to burn myself. Okay, see you later. Tonight. Sorry, should we go ahead and start our projects? Wait. Huh? Don't we need more, like, stuff? Like, you know, paper, pencils, project stuff? Chris, you should, look for it. Gosh, you're right, Susie. Chris, I think there was some stuff in my room, you know? If you want to go look. Damn, can't believe that worked. Susie! Go look for clues before Noelle gets suspicious. Chris, if you can't find any pencils or anything, I can come help you find them later. Poor Birdley. He's dead. It's okay, it's the guitar code, shelter. I'm gonna speed through up this a little bit. Chris? Chris, are you up there? Oh, does he put do they put the, shoved it in a drawer. Chris, there's something I'd like to talk to you about. You know, just the two of us. If you don't mind, I mean. I'll be in my room, okay? Are we just gonna leave the heart in the... Chris, no! Noelle seems more assertive in this route because she's stronger, but to her detriment. Jesus. Oh yeah, Chris only creepy walks when they're, soulless. Stronger, but we gave that deer anxiety. Oh! To be honest, I've kind of been waiting for a chance for us to be alone all day. There's something I want to talk to you about, Chris. I want to talk to you about last night. Last night, I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, all I could see was snow. I was terrified, Chris. Terrified it was all real. I went out on the porch to breathe, and... that's when I felt it. A hand on my wrist. I froze. And then I heard your voice. Chris's voice. You said sorry for taking your watch, Noelle. You said it was all a stupid prank. You said Burley's going to get better. And you put the watch back on my wrist. You said sorry for being weird at the hospital, Noelle. You said it was all a stupid prank. You said Burley was going to get better. Chris, your voice, your deadpan, mumbly voice. Even if you sounded kind of weak and shaky. Because they don't have the soul. I don't know why, but it felt so long since I'd heard it. Oh, they need the soul. I even started sniffling. Chris, you're back. Chris, thank you. Well, no, thanks for pranking me, but... Chris, can I say something else? Proceed. Ah! Ah! god! Oh, there it is! There. You know, I feel kind of bad. How long has it been since Chris has had, like, full control of their body? The fact that they're weak and shaky without the soul means that they absolutely need it, but they shouldn't be forced to share it. The soul fucking teleported like an asshole. When did the soul teleport? Just now. Just now. It was given we were giving a choice, and then without the choice, we would not have teleported. Oh, that's so fucking creepy.
The video missed it, but the hospital NPC says, "Ah, your friend? He's still." In any case, thank you for bringing him in yesterday. So when Chris left us in the bathroom, they went all the way to help.
Oh, baby. So they didn't just slash Torio's tires in the weird route. They wanted to help Burley. It makes me wonder, because sometimes Chris seems to enjoy violence, right? Sometimes Chris seems to, like, genuinely enjoy violence. But it makes me think, what if he just genuinely just wants autonomy? What if the poor fucking baby, like, what if all this time the only thing that they're trying to get is, like, their own body back? Because, like, they seem to genuinely enjoy making Noelle get stronger, even if it's kind of detrimental to her mental health. But when it comes to, like, their friends and stuff, they do really seem to back them up. Like, they went to fucking find Noelle and give her watch back. They went to get Birdley. So I really don't know how Deltarune is going to deal with the split between these two routes. But, like, I feel bad for not letting Chris have, like, their own autonomy, if that makes sense. It makes me sad. I think that them enjoying violence might be the edgy teenager phase. It could be. It could be.
Chris speedrunning meeting Noelle and getting Birdie in 30 seconds.
Hey, thanks for the super chat. Is Chris telling Noelle to please not, or the soul? Here's the thing, right? How long has Chris had the soul? Probably very recently. Chris probably had their own soul way before this, but as soon as we tried to make a vessel, it got yeeted into Chris. So this might be recent.
I feel like that the soul we control is not originally Chris, which is why they don't have full autonomy.
Yeah. I feel like Chris used to have a different soul. Their soul, which maybe the knight has it. All right, let's keep going. Chris, there was something else you did. Something else I have to ask you about. What did you do? After you said all of that, you took my hand and pulled a thorn out of my finger. The soul. Then you said that when I saw you again, you said not to mention you did any of this, or... Oh, he's twitchy. They're twitchy. Chris, it's okay. It's just us. You just said not to mention any of that. Because it'd get heard. By the soul. Chris, it's okay. It's just us. Who's gonna hear? Me. Oh no! Oh no! Chris? Oh shit! Chris, your voice. Chris, that's another joke, right? Okay, that voice. Ow. The voice from my dream. Oh my god, this poor deer. Oh my god, this poor deer, because it wasn't a dream. Sorry, Chris. What did you say? I must have misheard you. No. There's no way. No way they heard. Are we the bad guy? There's no way they heard. Are we the bad guy? My thoughts? Are we gonna be awful? I heard. Oh! What are you talking about, Chris? Hi. I didn't say anything. It's impossible. That's impossible. It's just a coincidence. Why are we being so mean to this poor deer? Why are we traumatizing this poor thing? Like, you're given so many chances, so many options to back out, so many chances to not traumatize this poor, sweet little Christmas bundle of joy, and we do not take them. Oh my god, we are the bad guy in Weird Root. Like, Chris is absolutely trying their goddamn best to help Noelle after all that, I think.
Toby, what the fuck? Are you on making this shit?
I would really like to know what Toby's fucking smoking when they come up with this bullshit. Thank you very much for the super chat. Oh, poor baby. If you can, hear me. Say red or blue. Red. Say green or black. Say it didn't happen. Say it didn't snow. It happened. It snowed. Oh my god! You're lying. You're lying.
Same reason why people do genocide in Undertale, I imagine.
Honest to God, I feel like such a dick and I'm not even playing right now. Thank you very much for the super. Sometimes you see which of the options you're given are the ones Chris really wants to say. The please don't one hurts so much. Poor baby. Thank you for renewing channel membership.
Hi, creepypasta exit was 5 choices back. This is just horror now.
This is genuinely horrifying.
Curse, I paid $25 for this. We are abusing the deer.
You have to get your money's worth! Thank you for the super chat! Wait. What if Chris goes cryptid and disappears? Maybe he's doing like the good deeds and things like slashing tires happened the other moments the soul was in the body. I don't know, because the soul can be good. The soul can do good things. And you don't get this route, but when the soul does bad things, we are a dill hole! Aww. Chris? Chris, what did you say? Equip. We kept the ring. We kept the— oh no! No, creepypasta. Creepypasta. Chris, what is that? We don't have a choice anymore. Chris, that's not the thorn, is it? That's not the thorn ring, is it? Oh my god, no, oh my god, poor Noah, that is awful. Don't fucking touch her. I'm doing this, like, ugh. Chris, come on, you still— slap him! Noelle, slap Chris, slap him! What about last night? What about— didn't you want to protect me? Noelle, slap them! Noelle, slap them! Why can't I move? Why can't I look away? Noelle, do something! Slap them! No, slap them! Chris, I really think I think I need to, gosh, I think I have, ow! Ow! Chris. Oh god. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Noelle, just slap them! So in the weird route, Chris is the good guy. Into the fucking garbage you go! Yeah, yeah, we deserve that. Yeah, we deserve that. Abuse the shit out of the soul. Oh, Chris, sweetie. I'm sorry! World's most justified crash out. Chris? Oh! Chris, are you okay in there? Just thought I'd let you know. Mayor Carroll is asking everyone to leave. And, I thought you looked a little down today. So, I made a special treat for you. Your friend and I will be waiting for you outside with it. Feel better, Chris. In Weird Route, Chris Solis is the good guy. You know what? Fair, fair. That soul could use more abuse. Beat it up to filth, please. Chris is actively fighting it. Chris, how are you doing? Not great! Chris, if you aren't feeling your best, perhaps you should just go straight home and rest. Here. I borrowed some sweets and made you a hot chocolate. Aw, Dad.
If you mess up and don't put the soul back into Chris before the dialogue choice, Chris will notice it's in the room and sprint out the door with Noelle, aborting the route.
They give you so many chances to not be a dick. So many. Like, you actively have to choose to be a dick to Noelle 5 times. Every single time. Otherwise, it's weird route. Thank you very much for the super chat.
Fun fact, if you check HP after Chris kicks the soul, you'll see we took actual damage.
Good! We deserve actual damage! This weird route is designed to make you feel like a terrible person. It's your favorite marshmallows, melted candy bars, and a little pinch of cinnamon spice. You got the hot chocolate. We don't deserve it, Dad. See you around, Chris. Susie did not find the guitar in this one. Guess we can go. Dude, we can't go back in there now. Oh, Noelle, poor baby. Her mom is totally watching us through the window. Poor baby. Aww. You drank the hot chocolate. It tasted wonderful. Your throat tightened. That wasn't our throat, that was Chris's throat. So hey, while you were keeping Noelle busy, I looked inside that room next door. There was this weird guitar in there. And on the inside of it, there was a code to the shelter. Oh! Didn't get to write it down, though. When I went to the living room with it, your dad caught me and started talking to me. Until, Noelle's mom showed up. Super pissed. Great, the hell are we gonna go back there now? This is the route where Chris is trying to risk up Noelle and, failing miserably.
No, Chris took the damage. meaning they hurt themselves kicking us. Also in the original version, the scene was a rose with its petals falling off.
I mean, it makes sense. It's a thorn ring. Thank you for the super chat. Great, now it's raining. At least your house is closed. Let's go. Yeah, and the weird route, she saw the code, but she didn't write it down. Huh? Hey, the door's locked! Seriously? Ugh, you don't have a key. Damn, well... Your mom's in her choir practice, right? Guess we can go to church and bother her for it. Ugh. The weird route is worse. Damn, that whole thing was a disaster, huh? And this is gonna sound dumb, but... You know what else kind of bites? Didn't even get to hang out, really. All three of us, I mean. The original one got changed because people got the wrong idea about the symbolism. Oh, I could see why. You know, Noelle said she wanted to talk to you.
The original equip scene was a rose with the petals falling off. Toby had to change it because people started interpreting it as Chris on the deer.
Oh, like, I could see why some people might think that, but I think that's super dumb. They should have kept the original. It's a thorn ring. Obviously, a rose is symbolic. Also, that's like a massive assumption. There was nothing sexual about that scene. It's a stretch. It's a gigantic reach. I'm sorry. Toby should have kept the original. But something about her look was kind of weird. Why? Couldn't you just talk to you in front of me? So, Chris actually took the thorn ring off of her and pocketed it and left. We forced her to put it back on, and that's so mean. What are you two talking about? You don't want to know. Nothing. No. I have no choice here. It wasn't about me, right? What? Fine, I won't bring it up again. Chris, rather than following her, why don't we just close our eyes and think about what she might be doing out in there? So, like, the reason why we can't do this, by the way, the reason why we can't see what Susie's doing is because this soul lacks empathy completely. So you can't put yourself in another person's shoes. That's why Chris can't visualize anything in this route. This is a route where you have no empathy whatsoever. Maybe you could think of someone else? Think of Noelle. Noelle is someone that the soul is interested in for some reason. Poor baby. What is that? We can't even think of Noelle. Thank you. Oh! Chris, hey, Chris, you okay? You were standing there with your eyes closed. Then you just started breathing hard and... Here, get up. Just a red dot. Rowsley, where the heck were you? Huh? I got the puzzle solution. Let's just go. Oh, here's the fucking weird cryptid. The soul is in the cage. Why don't we just keep it in there? Poor Chris. Chris is gonna go fucking annoy the shit out of Sans now. I guess that Chris needs the soul to live, but I don't think they like it very much. Chris, are you there? Then I'll just leave a message. You are going to the festival tomorrow, aren't you? I just wanted to confirm. Noelle said she's really looking forward to seeing you. Oh, poor baby. Oh! And that's the end of Weird Route for chapter, oh no. And that's the end of the Weird Route for chapter, 4. Christ! Okay, so that was the Weird Route. That was terrible and awful, and I feel, terrible even though I didn't play it. Red point is bigger, yeah. Okay. So, we begin with the prophecy recap. With every prophecy in chapter 4, this is another video. To try and see... These are in order, and I think that there are some unused ones here as well.
This kinda matters to that red dot scene. So the thorn ring scene with Noelle was changed twice. The first time Toby changed it to a small red dot that you just saw, and the second scene you already saw.
Thank you for the super chat. Okay. Chris might dislike us normally, but he hates us in the Weird Route. Alright, let's go, let's go. The prophecy which whispers among the shadows. The legend of this world, Deltarune. This is the actual prophecy, not the one that Rousey told us, I think. Our world basked in purest light. Beneath it grew eternal night. The fountains freed the roaring cries, and titans shaped from darkened eyes. We've already fought one of these. I'm sure it's not going to be the last. The light and dark both burning dire, a countdown to the earth expire. But lo, on hopes and dreams they send, 3 heroes at the world's end. The third hero, the prince, alone in deepest dark. Baby. The prince, alone in deepest dark. The first hero, the cage, with human soul and parts. It was supposed to be the best soul, not Chris. So the prophecy's probably already changed. The cage, with human soul and parts. And last was the girl. At last was the girl. This could either be Noelle or Susie, depending on how you interpret the prophecy. I think that the player in Weird Route wants it to be Noelle. The second hero, the girl with hope crossed on her heart. The girl with hope crossed on her heart. They'll hear the ring of heaven's call. They'll see the tale of hell take crawl, okay? We already have that, Jevil. This is about the super bosses. The knight which makes with blackened knife. Already fought them as well. Shall duel with heroes strife by strife. The queen's chariots cannot be stopped. That's queen. The Lord of Screens, cleaved red by blade, by the knight, yes. Poor Tenna. The Flower Man, trapped in asylum. Wait, Asgore. Asgore in what looks to be his Undertale outfit, but like, Toriel in Chapter 3, her Lightner outfit is that of a queen. So it makes sense that if Asgore ever ended up in a Dark World, which, let's face it, he will. If this is probably an unused asset, and this would probably hint to the player that Asgore is going to end up... This one is actually in the game. Oh, I didn't find this one! Okay, then there means that there will be a point in Deltarune where Asgore will enter the Dark World as well. Jockington grows the beard. Jockington might join us in an adventure as well. Many speculate that Asgore's Dark World is next. Might be. Like, we did notice, if you're actually walking around Deltarune at any point, then you stop by Asgore's store. Next to his truck, there is a small, like, door that's actually blocked off. And you can peer through it and see that he has, like, a crime board pinned up. A lot of people speculate that that might be about Des. I agree with that. Maybe if we manage to go into that room, that might be the Dark World. Jockington grows the beard. The pointy-headed will say toothpaste and then boy. Yes! Lancer. A Conundrum's first four tones. Chapter 5 is the Field of Pink and Gold according to Gerson Boom. Yeah, it might be Asgore's. A Conundrum's last 4 tones.
BTW, in both routes we have the option to talk to Close Our Eyes or not and talk to Ralsei a little more. The weird route just adds the option to talk to Noelle. This also happens in Chapter 3 and 2.
It's really funny that, like, you would choose to skip those segments because they add a lot, but in Weird Route, it makes sense. If you think about Weird Route being, like, the route where you, like, basically get rid of any and all empathy you have, it would make sense as to why you can't or won't visualize yourself in anyone else's shoes. Except Noelle, because Noelle is the person that the soul seems to be most interested in. Thank you for the super chat. The last prophecy, the story's end. And then, when all hope is lost for the tale. This is the ones that Ralsei didn't want to see in.
The pink gremlin dumping
The final
flavored
tragedy
powders.
unveils. Hell yeah! I'm actually chugging some gamer subs right now. Thank you for the super chat. To save the worlds, there is only one way. I'm guessing it's the way in which Ralsei might have to die. One of the heroes is gonna have to die. It's either gonna have to be Chris or Ralsei. It's my guess. And then that one was the broken one. Only then will the worlds be saved. No, Susie, if you ask me, Susie won't die. Susie seems to be the one that can change the prophecy, but I think that the intended girl hero was supposed to be Noelle. Axes carved by the Tortoise Grand Hammer. Remember, and also every super boss has been mentioned at least once, so they're probably going to be important. Cold water fell from the top of the sky. This is absolutely about the holidays. Yeah, these are actually unused. Roots. This is Toby's room! gallery. Yeah, Toby's doghouse, super cute. I think that Susie's more an agent of change, not so much that she's gonna die.
Driving in his truck, after a beer, the king shall hit a bump that is shaped like a deer.
Poor Des! Thank you very much for the super chat. Love finds its way to the girl. This one was used. Love finds it. Wait, that looks like the soul. This is about Noelle. The soul is trying to get its roots inside of Noelle. This is about Noelle. Noelle was supposed to be the intended third hero, or first. The girl. A conundrum of multitude tones. A conundrum's multitude tones. Yeah, this is, yeah, love, exactly. Lotus was all uppercase. Yeah, love. It's about Noelle. Susie is the agent of change. So the prophecy is probably going to change because Susie, the angel banished, will finally meet with its desire. By the way, Angel is the name that Spamton uses for Noelle when he's not calling her Hoochie Mama, so... Love as in level of violence. Yeah, that's about Noelle. That's about the soul getting its roots into Noelle. The soul probably wants that deer. For to save the world, we last of all say. And that was all the prophecies. Now, there's a lot of stuff we can infer from these.
DUI? The king tells the deer to die.
Yeah, he's going 100 miles an hour. So there's a lot of stuff we can infer from these prophecies. For me, the most important one to know is the fact that the prophecy was talking about Noelle, not Susie. Remember, it mentions 3 heroes and then the girl. Love finds its way to the girl. I think this is about Noelle, because the soul is very clearly trying to get its little, like, fucking spindly heart thorns into her. I think that, like, if you do weird route, this prophecy comes true. So, like, the way that you can interpret the prophecies is if the prophecy is going to come true, or if the prophecy is going to change. I think that if you do the weird route, the prophecy probably will come true. Someone will die. It might be Chris. It might be Rowsley. I would imagine it's probably Chris, because if Noelle is strong enough, the soul won't need Chris anymore, so they might be goners. And if you do the normal route, if you do the peaceful route, whatever, the prophecy changes, because Susie, I see her as an agent of change, personally.
My last super chat today. Susie is a lizard-type monster. What if her tail is so small because she eats it every time she's hungry? Lizards tend to do that to survive. Sleep well, Lily, smile.
Oh, she would bite that thing off, wouldn't she? Thank you for the super chat. Forgot to mention, gameplay related, but apparently the knife tunnel in the Roaring Night fights was nerfed to have smaller hitboxes to make it easier to dodge.
If Toby isn't a coward, the weird route is going to have the better outcome for the ending. But you feel bad, and pacifist route will end more tragically, but you feel better.
Who knows, honestly? We're a few years away from knowing what's actually going to happen. Thank you very much for the sub. Wait, they nerfed it to have smaller hitboxes to make it easier to dodge. You had Radan look. So basically, I fucking beat the Roaring Night pre-nerf. Dope. Rousey mentioned that he's afraid what changes in the end might be worse. Oh! There's also theories that imply that Susie might be an antagonist, not so much force of good, but we'll get to that. But yeah, like, that's the thing with the prophecy, right? I think that the intended hero was Noelle and not Susie. And depending on what route you take, the prophecy will come true, or it won't.
Something that's also interesting, some of the tapestries that don't have the heart but others do.
Interesting. Thank you for the super chat. Okay, so now we go into theories. Okay.
Fun fact, Noelle can use both the Dark Shard and the Candy Cane Sword, plus Rousey has mentioned the hero uses ribbons. Susie can't, but Noelle seems to have a connection to them.
Susie refuses to wear the ribbons, if I recall correctly. Thank you for the super chat. Okay, so saving. Chris is not the only one, the one who saves the game at the shimmering points. You, the soul, do. As in, you are the one in control. And, based back in chapter 1, it seems that we are saving over Chris. Also hinted by Noelle in chapter 4 during the Susie closet scene. Yeah, it seems that Chris is not fully in control of their body, if that makes sense. they seem to be when they are not using the soul, but according to what we just heard in the weird route, Noelle says that they sound weak. We do have pictures for this, okay. Chris, save, return. File saved, always. So we are the soul is the one that makes the choice, not Chris. So if you change the name to not Chris, it overrides it. This is the first save point of the game, by the way. I kept the name as Chris. Actually, no, wait, I put Lily. I didn't actually notice that. You are saving over Chris. Like, keep in mind that it's very likely that the vessel that shows up at the start of the game was the vessel the soul was originally meant to inhabit, but something happened. So we ended stuck with the cryptid, who does not like us. Chris had a save file before us. Yeah, Chris was likely supposed to be the intended person doing all of this. Chris was likely supposed to be the intended hero. I think either that or it was supposed to be the vessel that we made that we never got to use. Everything that came out of their mouth sounded odd. Also, in Weird Route, Noelle says that Chris speaks with a different voice when the soul is not in their body. They say that, like, it was on speaker or something. Yeah, like we're talking through a microphone. Well, it wasn't. Something was weird. They acted just like they do recently, I guess.
And last was the girl. At last was the girl feels like it refers to Susie. The icon is called Root Buster in the files. The second hero might be Noelle and the last girl might be Susie.
Thank you very much for Super Chat. I wouldn't put all stock into the file names because Toby knows about the data miner, so he might do that to confuse them.
Will happen if you win without save.
Maybe? But you need to save, though, because there's different chapters. But yeah, it is very, very, very likely that Chris literally cannot survive without the soul, but at the same time, the soul, us, is saving over everything that they do. Every single time we save, we're probably saving over his save file. Like, instead of just having our own vessel, Chris's file is getting overwritten by the soul. The first chapter, we have no control over the story. Second chapter, as the start of Weird Route. Third chapter, the soul plays against Chris's wishes, where you see what happened in chapter 4. The soul is getting more powerful per chapter. The soul is getting more and more power, and if you do Weird Route, I think the soul just becomes an entirely fucking antagonistic, vengeful fucking thing. And it's supposed to make you feel bad. Okay. This is one that I see a lot of people asking about. Why did Chris slash the tires of Toriel's car? Folks are theorizing that this was likely done to lure Undine in, either to intentionally get her captured by the night, given the anonymous lines in the phone about police sacrifice next week, as seen in chapter 4, or as a safety net to protect Toriel, which is a terrible idea. She deserves whatever happened to her. No, she does not. No, she does not. Oh my god, Toriel is a normal person. Anyway. The slashing the tires of Toriel's car, I think it was meant to be so Toriel stayed put more than anything else. But if Chris knows Toriel well enough, it's very, very likely that they knew that she was going to call the police. And because the Knight didn't really seem picky about who they stole, right? They tried to take Toriel before Susie stopped them. And then as soon as... hold on. As soon as they noticed Undine, they went for Undine. So I don't think the Knight was too picky about that, personally. I like the theory, actually, for fits with what we know. I think that, like, they just did it to make a dark world.
At Gerson's tea party, you can refuse to sip the tea, and they feed you an apple instead. On Weird Route, Chris tries to eat the core of the apple. Apple seeds have cyanide in them, by the way.
Yeah, but you need like 200 apples for cyanide to work from apple seeds. Thank you very much for the bits, hon. But I think that, like, the actual intended target was Toriel. I think that Chris was trying to get Toriel into the Dark World because Undine seems to be collateral damage more than anything else, you know? Desperation? It's not enough cyanide to kill you. Like, Here's the thing, right? Chris carries a blade with them. If they really wanted out, they could have stabbed themselves a billion times already. I don't think that Chris is trying to top themselves. I think that they are just being their weird little selves. I think it was meant to be more like Chris was eating the metaphorical heart of the apple.
Personal theory, I reckon it was a way to lure Undyne there cause Chris might have known that Toriel will call the police, but I could be wrong.
I personally think that they wanted Toriel in the Dark World. Thank you very much for the super chat. I think that the Undine was completely unexpected. Like, the knight was looking for Toriel, specifically. Tried to take her twice, even. So, like, when they saw Undine, they were like, well, this works too, I guess, because they'd already been defeated, so they just bounced. I think that Chris in the weird route is struggling between the soul being evil and needing the soul for their own plans. See, here's the thing about Chris. I don't think that Chris is a bad person. I think that Chris is a little bit weird. And, definitely not your run-of-the-mill person. But I don't think that they're a bad person. If anything, they could be doing all of this to free themselves from the soul. It's very likely Chris had their own soul, their personal soul, before all of this happened. But instead of us getting our vessel, we got stuck with them. Then I also mentioned Toriel will be in great danger if she realizes that she's in the Dark World. Yeah! Which is another theory I have, that Rousey is actually Azrael, and Toriel and Asgore are not actually from the Light World. Hell, you could even argue that none of the monsters are from the Light World. They probably are all in some way Darkners, because even though it's not set in the same world, the game is connected to Undertale. The underground. What's in the underground? Darkness! Okay, the next theory is the white and black deer. Which just says, please click me. Okay. This is another thing that of someone that went into the files. They were inspecting Chapter 3 and 4's files when they noticed something weird. This is the room where you find Noelle in the Sword Route, the retro game. As you can see, she uses a strange deer. She's not alone in this. The strange creature that copies your movements in the last dungeon also has a peculiar placeholder, a black deer. I investigated further. How does this work exactly? What is this hidden lore? The brown deer isn't that interesting. It seems to be only the placeholder in the editor, but the black deer, which you can't see here, is curious. Notice how it enables a variable named Toriel upon spawning. This shit must drive Toby insane. Sure enough, Toriel seems to be responsible for turning into a dark monster. Bottom. Let's try disabling these lines to see what happens. Oh, there's a deer. This dark deer might be a reference to the Dark Knight. I don't think you can stab it. And then you just kill the deer and that's it. This time I've disabled the superfluous code related to the black deer. No health increase, no Toriel, no sprite change, and the tiles in the room will not be altered. Meow. Still works fine. Toby definitely intended for people to find this. I don't know if this was an intentional thing for Toby, but it definitely is. That's all I have to share. I will leave it to ponder if this means what this means for Des. This is definitely related to Des, for sure, though. A lot of people theorize that the Dark Knight is actually Des. I, for one, do think it's someone in the Holiday family. Whether it's Des or Rudy, I haven't quite made up my mind yet, but it's definitely someone in the Holiday family. Because, like, if this normal deer is Noelle, then the black deer is probably Des. I think at some point Toby just put shit in the mess or just wink at people who look in the files. I think so. I think that Toby's well aware that people data mine everything, and we know that he finds this a little bit aggravating, so he probably puts shit in there to mess with people, which I don't blame him for at all. Hi! These are either breadcrumbs or trolling misdirections. I'm completely convinced that that's the case, yes. The idea of Weird Root going forward makes me so uncomfortable. It's gonna get worse. It's gonna get much, much worse, I think. Funny thing, you don't end up attacking the thing when it flies at you. Chris does. Yeah, Chris doesn't like that, dear. The mic fight you skipped is all about Toby fucking with fans. Hell yeah! We can watch it on YouTube later, at least. Or I'll do it in PC. All right, back to the document. What happens to Mini Chris after the retro game? That is a really good question. I've been wondering about that shit. It's been giving me nightmares. What happened to that thing? Mini Chris, which is fully controlled by the player, can attempt to stab Susie in the back. Only saved by Chris. Yeah. Yanking our way, however, after the scene of the NPCs back in the S-Rank room, we'll comment that, haven't you already walked through here, Chris? The thing does try to stab you. Hey, Chris! What the hell are you doing? Being a tryhard all by yourself? Oh my god! We can still control it. You seriously enjoy this? Oh! Oh shit! I never actually did this. Chris, what are you? Alright, I get it. Well, if you really want to. Susie, no! Go ahead. I tasted your shampoo in the bathroom. Here, you can taste it. Susie. I thought it was gonna be like, oh shit, Chris and Susie? Are they gonna kiss? No. Would you like to taste my shampoo? Cruisy moment.
Stabbing Susie to further the cruisy agenda.
Fuck yeah! Thank you very much for the super chat. I like, you know what? I kind of like Chris and Noelle. I think that they're sweet together. What? How am I the weird one here? Sheesh. Anyway, here, stole your drink. No, stop making us wait already. You found a flat soda. Ew. Okay. Chris, I was so scared I couldn't move. Let me just make this a little bigger for you guys. I was so scared I couldn't move. Ram was, wait a second. That's funny, Chris. Didn't you already go past? Yeah, the little Chris fucking dipped. Hi! This is what happens if you leave the room immediately after the player, Chris, absconds.
Lily, no, do not be led astray. We must maintain the Cruziel agenda.
So, Noelle can be bi. Okay. And then we have this about the character. Hero's sword, like all the other characters in the minigame, does not appear to have any personality, acting as a vessel for the protagonist to play as. However, at the end of the sword route, Hero's sword is able to leave its minigame while being controlled by the soul, before being able to move on its own after you regain control of Chris. Hero's sword is implied to have walked out Batstay room and escaped into the rest of the Dark World, as a cleaned Rabbit knows that they had already seen Chris walk past them when interacted to. So, remember that manhole cover that we couldn't move? It's very likely that the player, Chris, just ran out through there. That, or they're just loose in the Dark World somewhere. You're also able to kill Mini Chris if you bring it to the room, but select no when it's on screen. Susie will unplug the controller, and Mini Chris pops like when you kill an enemy. Oh shit. That's creepy as hell. That I think that Toby wanted to make a creepypasta. I'm convinced at this point that Toby wanted to make a creepypasta, chat. If you don't play the game, Ram is behind the counter in statue form. Playing the game makes Ram disappear completely. Ah! I mean, let Mini Chris live into his own little adventures. He left through the manhole. The weird route is a creepypasta. Okay. The identity of the night. This is the biggest theory that I see people, like, discussing and trying to see who the fucking Roaring Knight is, because there's a lot of options, but I am convinced, personally, that it's someone in the Holiday family. Des is the Roaring Knight. Based on a combination of how it fights, its stance is reminiscent of ice skating, coupling with them in her room. The knight's weapon initially looking like a bat versus the sports equipment in her room. The comments during the night fight about you'll feel a migraine coming on.
I theorize that Chris, whether in weird or normal route, is gonna jettison and clash with the soul. And I think we're eventually gonna have to either reach out to someone else. We might even have to fight Chris.
Or Chris is gonna fight us. Could be either way. And the horns. Fans are also starting to the leitmotif from The Black Knife and The Lost Girl song from Des's room are the same. I did notice this when I was in Des's room.
Toby Fox. Give me Cruziel and my life is yours.
See, who Noelle ends up with, I think, completely depends on your route. Thank you very much for the super chat. Yeah, the song from Des's room is actually in the Roaring Knights motif. It is in there with a different tempo, but it is. That's how I noticed, and that's why I was like, ooh, it might be Des. The wiki states that it's not used in the song as an audio analysis, has shown the contrary. Very likely a case of confirmation bias on the fans' part. That was the fact that the apparent code for the bunker is hidden in the guitar, and the voice on the phone insists that Susie does not get it. It is important to note that at the time of compiling the theory list, there is no canon Des design, only the fandom take. I've seen some fanon Des designs that apparently people are arguing if she would be blonde or not, because Carol is blonde, but who knows? Okay, it's a red guitar. Rollerblades, wiffle bat. Looking at these things makes your head hurt. It's Des's bed. Underneath the army rations, guitar picks, paintball gear, ice skates, rollerblades, wiffle bat. Looking at these things makes your head hurt. You begin to read the numbers in the passcode. 1, 2. And then here is the leitmotifs for the songs. This leitmotif relates to the Roaring Knight and appears in 4 tracks in the unused track. Okay, so for me, I do think that Des could very likely be the Roaring Knight, because here's the thing about Des, right? We don't know if she's dead or not. No one has ever confirmed it. She doesn't have a gravestone in the graveyard. It's very likely that the Roaring Knight is probably Des. Something happened to her that made her become that shadow cryptid thing, because I do think it's someone from the Holiday family. The knight has horns. There's parallels in the room and in the actual boss fight. That you feel a migraine coming on, the wind's blowing fiercely, like, and everything about it seems to be winter and snow motif. This might be why the soul is so insistent on making Noelle get stronger in the weird route, because we might need someone from the Holiday family to actually fix this, you know? The wiki says this is wrong, so anyone who disagrees is biased. Is an interesting choice of an argument. I personally do think that the Lost Girl leitmotif is in there. I heard it. I don't think that this is confirmation bias. But I do think that Des could very likely be the knight. She went missing. No one knows where she is. It seems to give Noelle PTSD to even, like, fucking say her name. So something must have happened. I don't think she's dead, though.
The manhole is a way to get to the backstage game. If you get the Z rank, you get into the Z room, which is implied to be Spamton's room while he was Tina's partner, husband.
Yes, because they were super dating. Thank you for the super chat. I think it's Carol, to be honest. It can't be Carol. It would make, like, the timing doesn't make sense. I think Des lost her soul, which is why the knight is trying to sacrifice monsters. But here's the thing. Monsters do have souls, but they're much, much weaker than human souls. We don't know what the soul wants in Weird Route, but it most likely will be much worse than the Roaring. Much, much worse. Okay, the second theory is that Carol Holiday is the Roaring Knight. This is due to, again, her having horns and the fact that Carol has a katana mounted inside of their house. Not to mention, every single pattern decoration in the house is an attack that the knight does. If you go around the Holiday's home when you get the chance to do it, there's like snowflakes and stuff on the wall that resembles the attack patterns that the Roaring Knight had when we were fighting them. With the handle facing right, implying that Carol wields it with her left hand, same as the knight wields the sword. The fact that Carol seemingly comes running when Chris calls regarding Susie and the code in Chapter 4, and then emphasizes that you, the player, are always welcome here, definitely lends credit towards the possibility of it being true. Coupled with how Noelle comments on her being obsessed with collecting red heart-shaped objects. I do think that Carol is another good choice. A bit less likely to me, I think it's Des. Carol Holiday. Anyone gonna say anything about the giant sword? Oh, it's just my mom's katana. My mom just collects heart-shaped pillows for some reason. Noelle's mom seems to be obsessed with souls, yes. She loves red heart-shaped objects. And then if you look inside of Des's closet, by the way, it's full of hearts. I don't know if anybody else noticed that. I'll be right there. If you look inside of Des's closet while that cutscene is happening, it's full of hearts. They could be pillows, or they could be failed souls. Yeah, I think that, for me, it's very likely that the knight is Des, but Carol is involved. Carol knows what's happening. Carol knows that there's something wrong with her daughter. But the thing that might make a lot of people think that Carol is actually the knight is because if you look at her horn shape, it's identical. Like, Noelle has really, really soft, stubby horns. So does Rudy. But who knows? Maybe Des has the blue sharp horns as well. So, well, antlers. So we have no way to know. I think, though, my personal theory is that it is Des, but Carol knows. You were hiding in them while Chris was looking for you. Yeah. I did notice. Yeah, those could either be more decorations, failed souls, who knows. Like, Chris could not tell that we were in there, in the pillows. Or the mom is very romantic. Des could have inherited her mom's antlers. I don't know if we're ever actually going to see Des at any point. I hope we do, even if it's just in a flashback. But, for me, I do think that Des is the knight. Something happened to her, that's why she's technically considered missing. She has not been the same since. We did see Des, just young Des, in front of the TV. Yeah, but it was in silhouette. Carol is a weeaboo for humans. Yeah, probably. Maybe Des isn't dead, but she lost her soul, and Carol is obsessed with souls because she wants to find her daughter's soul, or get another soul for her. Asgore might know what happened too. It is also very, very implied that Asgore knows something, because again, that back room Asgore has that's like blocked with plant shit, if you peek in there, he has a crime board with pictures pinned everywhere, connected with string, all that jazz. I think that that is very much related to Des, because he has not been able to find her. It's very likely that he got fired after Des disappeared, considering the fact that Carol was the mayor. Because, like, here's the thing, right? The Asgore hit Des with his truck theory, it's flawed in a fundamental level, which is, if someone had hit my child with their car and killed them, I would not allow them anywhere near me, much less in my house. Carol has Asgore coming over and seems to actually be helping Asgore, which means that Carol probably knows that Asgore is doing some investigative work on the side and wants to help him out. I don't think that driving in my car right after a beer actually happened. I do genuinely think that Asgore is trying to help. He was just driving, yeah. But it's funny though. I mean, that's the joke though. Well, he did hit her with the truck. What if you didn't like the kid though? No. What if Carol paid him to do it? No! If you explore the vents, you can actually find Asgore going through Carol and Rudy's room. Do people think that Carol intentionally had Des disappear? Because she was a disappointment? Like, Carol seems to be really, really harsh on Noelle, because it seems like she's an overbearing mother. But I don't think that she did anything to Des at all. Not to mention, Carol supports Asgore financially. Yeah, so I don't think that Asgore hit Des with the truck. Asgore might be a PI hired by Carol to investigate. Yeah, like, Asgore probably got fired publicly for Des's disappearance, but on the side, Carol is like, no, I need you to keep looking into this. I need to fire you for optics. Carol's not super nice. They're saying, no, she is not, but it's very likely that she is looking into this. Strict does not equal evil. A lot of people nowadays, when it comes to writing characters, think that if a character isn't like a perfect snowflake, they're mean. I had a strict mother. She was not nearly as cold as Carol, but strict does not mean bad. I don't think that she is evil, at least not right away, but I definitely do think that she's involved somehow, and there's definitely stuff that she is not telling us. Or maybe it's stuff that, like, she's told Chris, and the soul doesn't know. Yeah, she's antagonistic, but not evil. Just a very overbearing mother. I do think that she's a mean character, so you could speak. She's not meant to be likable. At all. She did have a reason to be very mad at Susie. That's her missing daughter stuff that they were messing with. Yes, that is a very valid reason to kick them out of the house. Maybe she was a completely different person before Des disappeared. It might be why they're trying so hard on Noelle. Probably, could be. And like, poor Noelle is being put through the ringer by the Soul now as well, so
One thing to mention is that Chris doesn't get to make the call in the weird route, but Carol arrives home anyways. And when Carol calls Chris at the end, it's not the same voice.
Yeah, that might have been the night calling, actually. Thank you for the super chat. The way people talk about it always made it seem to be that Asgore was being obsessive about finding Des. I would think that people would be harsher if they thought that he had anything to do with it. Yeah, I don't think he had anything to do with it. I think he's trying very hard to find her, though. I think multiple characters have their own plans, either trying to figure out how to get Des back or still keeping secrets from each other. That's the thing, right? Right now, Deltarune is at what we would call just past the halfway point. There are still 3 chapters missing. We're missing 5, 6, and 7. And a lot of stuff can happen, and it's very likely that it's going to take at least another 4 years to get like the full game out. Unless Toby's actually finished most of it, and we're gonna get like a release per year. But it's still gonna be like 2030 before the full game is out. So right now we can only really speculate. The halfway mark has been attained. Yeah, we're past the halfway mark, but like, we're at the point of the game where the story's starting to unravel, but we don't have nearly enough yet. We can't see the whole tapestry yet. So the only thing we can really do is speculate. It's that, or it's polishing the story side. Could be, like, at this point, it could be that Toby's still polishing the kinks out, like, ironing the kinks out of the game, or they're just still building the thing. We don't know. The only thing we do know for a fact is that Chapter 5 is coming out next year, for sure, which means that 6 and 7 could come out either in tandem, the way that 3 and 4 did, but 2 or 3 years down the line, or one after the other, with like a year or 2 pause in between. No idea what's going to happen there. The game has placed a really heavy emphasis on secrets. Secrets kept from us, characters keeping secrets from each other. You try piled on top of each other. Yeah, it's just secret.
Asriel and Des are connected. Also might be a mess here, as there's a horrible implication on what happens if you try to open a dark fountain and stab yourself.
I mean, Chris was able to open a dark world and no problem, but I think that if the Soul tried to open one, it would be a completely different experience. Susie's dark world was fucked. So I think that the dark world changes depending on who opened it. All the ones that the Knight has opened have been fairly stable, though. Asriel is a dark prince. He said so himself. Asriel literally said, "I am a prince," when we first meet him. The Forgotten Man said either 11 minutes or 11 years. Chapter 7 in 2029, chat. Trust. It could be before 2030, but at this point, it's about 5 years away. Thankfully, Toby seems to be actively working on the game. Oh. And yeah, Asriel and Des are definitely connected. I still have the low-key theory, like, I'm halfway joking when I say that Asriel is dead, but I do think that Rousey's tied to Asriel in some way as well. I think the Soul might have to open a dark fountain as well, but we can't hold anything, though. We need to be inside of the cryptid. Notably, the Knight's Dark World and Chris's Dark World look the same. Susie's was different. Yeah, Susie had a different mindset, so that's why Susie's Dark World was different. Maybe it's because she's a monster and Chris is human, so... If he's a prince, then Tori's the queen, so Asgore is gonna have a Dark World where he's in it, I think. Okay, the next theory is that Rudy Holiday is the Roaring Knight. This one's again due to the fact that he is a deer and would match the build for the Knight, and his mysterious illness could be related to the Knight's open ribcage. This, coupled with the fact that he's foreshadowing the next chapter's contents whenever you visit his room. It would not be the first time Toby completely fooled us with a seemingly nice character that are actually twisted. Okay, so another thing to note about Rudy is in every chapter, he is getting progressively sicker. Almost as if something is eating away at him. Okay, so in chapter 1, he says, "Bird guy again, what's his name? Nerdly." In the second one, "Why don't you take her to the movies?" Oh wait, no, why might we be able to go to church tomorrow? Why don't you take her to the movies? And Roses, what is this, man? Beauty and the Beast? Rudy hints at stuff. Rudy hints at stuff that's gonna happen next. He does have the nice build, and in every chapter he is progressively sicker. The night powers could be eating at him. Something's happening that's making him sick, but at the same time, he He doesn't, if he is the knight, he might not be aware of it. He might not be aware of it because he keeps saying that, like, he has to get better for Noelle. He has to keep trying. They're just running a few more tests. So it could be a case that Rudy is either possessed by something or he's not aware that he is the knight. But I think that he could be the knight. It means that he's getting worse by the day. Yeah, whenever you go talk to him, he gets tired faster and faster and he's coughing more and more and more. Maybe he's a Kickstarter to the birth of Dark Knight. It could be. Like, it has to be someone in the Holiday family because of the build. At least that's what everyone is speculating. I'm leaning more towards Des, but Rudy could also be an option. Rudy's horns look different from the Knight's, but the Knight is wearing a helm. So it could be a helm that's pointy, you know? I just assumed he had terminal cancer. He has something. That might be why Asgore is looking for clues to help his friend. Could be. It does seem unlikely that Rudy is the Knight, seeing as the hospital NPC says nothing about Rudy leaving, which would be strange for a veteran patient. Could be. I still believe that the horns are a red herring. Again, with Toby, there's no way to know. Also, wasn't Rudy super dead in Undertale? Like, it's been a long time since I've played Undertale, so correct me if I'm wrong. Doesn't Asgore mention Rudy at one point? What if each time we meet the Knight, you just make him worse? We're killing Rudy. Yes, he mentioned he died, which means that he's probably gonna die in this one as well. Rudy died in Undertale according to an alarm clock. He was not in Undertale, he was mentioned in Undertale. So, that's interesting. 2 characters in Deltarune that are not in Undertale. Rudy's not directly in Undertale, but he's mentioned, and Susie is not in Undertale, but they're mentioned. Is Noelle in Undertale at any point? I can't remember. Maybe they actually tried him out as a vessel, or what they're generating for before the hero, but something went horribly wrong. He does seem genuinely sick. Not at all. Okay, so there's new... So, like, I think that characters being in Undertale or not doesn't really matter at this point. The holidays are not in Undertale anyway. Yeah, I think that the holidays are, like, Deltarune exclusives, but they did mention Rudy. Mention the Holiday Sisters. Okay, thank you, JC. JC just sent me 5th anniversary alarm clock winter dialogue. The dialogue on this page was originally intended to be debut in the Undertale alarm clock, an app that would have served as a vehicle for various humorous monologues from the characters. Development on the app has halted due to various circumstances, including asking the app developer to help with the development of Deltarune instead. So rather than have the dialogue gather dust, I have taken an expert and rewritten it for display here. As always, I recommend that you didn't read the dialogue until you've completed Undertale. So let's see what Asgore has to say. I like Santa Claus. He's a nice old man that never changes. No matter how cruel everything gets, he laughs calmly and comforts the people of the world. Don't you think he's like a bit of a superhero? To tell you the truth, I was never an excellent leader, but I think I might be a nice Santa Claus. Ho 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 ho. Though I can't fit inside the chimney. Last time I tried, I just got stuck. They ended up drawing a face on my behind. Gee willikers. Rudy, love the holidays, you know? Around that time of year, he'd put on his glowing red nose, and we walked into the night together, placing presents side by side in the snow. I was his Santa. He was my Rudolph. I can still hear his tapping on his doorframe saying, "Don't forget the mistletoe, big guy," and I walk into his snowed-in cottage, with a warm slice of fruitcake on the table, his youngest daughter peeking shyly from around the corner. For a little while, it was like another home. I knew him for a long time. Ever from since I went and met him at Hotline University. He always called me big guy. As time passed one day, he started looking older than I. I remember him saying, "Guess I have to tell you little guy now, huh?" Then he paused and said, "You'll always be big guy to me." You wanna know why? Why, I asked him. Because Gory. You're bigger than me, stupid. And then he just kept laughing. Physically bigger, idiot. What a funny man. I was there for it all. His growth, his marriage, his fatherhood. Then suddenly one day, he fell down. And broke his leg and became glue. Rudy. I was never able to show you the sun. But Rudy would be happy to see our world today. His daughters get to grow up in the sunlight. The youngest one has such a kind face. I think she'll make many new friends. Isn't that nice? Okay, so the holidays existed. The holidays existed in Undertale, but they were never, like, in the game. That's fascinating. That means that the only character that was never conceptualized for Undertale was Susie. Asgore, the heck are you standing alone in the cold? I finished putting out all the presents. Not much for me to do now, I'm afraid. What, are you kidding? Come on, we're about to light up the tree. Of course. Golly, it's quite a large one this year. Ho ho ho. Yeah, I smashed a few together to make a super tree. Super tree. Look, Asgore! Matching red scarves! Matching with who? Me and where'd he go? Sans dipped. Alright, everyone, time to flip the switch. 3, 2, 1, lights on. Oh, how wonderful. The tree is beautiful. Yeah, there's even decorated one with lights over there. Wow, that tree is also beautiful! Everyone, a cup of warm soup? Well, you really filled it up, huh? Of course, it's more efficient that way. It is, isn't it? Hey, everyone, let's sing carols. Oh, shall we? Well, I think this is just like Christmas dialogue, but that's very sweet. So the holidays were conceptualized in Undertale, but they never appeared in the game. That's very interesting. Rudy was always meant to be Asgore's bestie. This makes it look like Undertale might be a prequel to Undertale. Maybe Undertale is what happens if the roaring actually happens. All the lighteners are lost in the dark. Sans on the Xbox exclusive room mentions the Antlers girl and her big sis. Susie's mentioned by a weird-ass Gaster-related character, which is its own rabbit hole. Thank you for the super chat. Okay, so maybe Undertale is what happens if Deltarune's prophecy comes true. Monsters trapped in the dark forever could be the underground. You never see the Darkners again because they're all objects. Asriel does end up dying. Who knows? It could be a prequel, in a way. I know that they're supposed to be different worlds, but maybe if you change the prophecy, Undertale doesn't happen. Though the monsters were trapped by humans. What is Chris? If the monsters are trapped by either us, the soul, or Chris, that's a human that traps them. And Chris was in fact Kara. How does Asriel get younger? Well, Asriel like could be Rousey, honestly. Like there is a merit to all of these theories because like again, it's too soon to tell. Undertale speaks that there was a fight between humans and monsters. Why, if the roaring happens, humans believe it's because of the monsters and that's what's triggered the war? Could be. It's said that the monsters were sealed by 7 humans. Could also be that it sparked a fight, but who knows? Like, there's a lot of stuff that could have happened. Same Sans, though. He's a thread. Sans has connections to everything. Undertale is mentioned as a parallel story, but how so? It's not exactly mentioned. Parallel in a way that maybe the prophecy already happened. Could be. Yeah, all of this is speculation. All of this is theory crafting. It's just stuff that could happen in the game. All of this is just theory stuff. We're just having a good time. I do think that Undertale and Deltarune are connected in some way, though. There is a non-zero chance that Sans showed up in the house to keep track of Chris and the Soul. Absolutely, he's there to keep tabs on that cryptid and the Soul. At the end of the day, it's his story. Revisions of the original can happen. Yeah, Toby could have changed things, moved stuff around, tie the stories together. Like, I think that there is a link. How and why it's going to show up, it remains to be seen. I know that Sans knows exactly what's going on, which is why you always have to keep a close eye on him. It's very likely that he was in our house dancing the night away with Toriel to protect her. Annoying the shit out of Chris, sure, but it's very likely he was there to protect her. Sans is probably making sure that Toriel doesn't get got later. Sans seemed to show up whenever Toriel is alone. She didn't get caught in the church dark world, and she ended up at Sans' place. Sans walked her home. She always shows up at Sans' door. I think that Sans is keeping tabs on his goat wife. I fully believe Sans knows the plot is going to happen, which is why he invited Toriel to cancel the choir practice. Probably, yeah. Because he probably knew that the church was going to become a dark world and she would be in danger. Sans is very likely keeping tabs on Toriel. If Sans is from the Deltarune world, it would make sense as to why he bleeds at the end of his fight. Could be. Thanks so much for the follow. Wildcard, Papyrus is the Roaring Knight working with Sans. Papyrus is just in his house playing video games. A reminder that Benui Lady in Snow Dash says the Skeleton Bros just appeared out of nowhere, and they bleed, just like Susie in Chapter 4. Oh yeah, the Skeleton Bros do appear out of nowhere. You should probably read the lyrics to Raise Up Your Bat, the music that Tenna makes you play in the rhythm game. I love that song. The one where Susie pops off. I do think Sans is also intentionally distracting Toriel from asking too many questions. I do genuinely think that Sans is keeping tabs on his goat wife. Doesn't give him the right to eat her pancakes, though. I know, what a bitch. Where Rousey sings censored lyrics. He sings swears. Go back to the document. It really is fascinating all the ways that this story could go. Okay. The discarded vessel is the Roaring Knight. This one is based mostly on the fact of how the knight very closely mirrors Chris's way of acting in the fight. And the knight and Chris seemingly work together as implied by the fight, and a special interaction in the fight is finished without getting hit once. I actually did not no-hit the knight, so I have to see this for myself. But yeah, they actually act exactly the same. Soulless Chris has the same mannerisms as the knight. The screeching, the pointing, the way that they charge forward with the sword, the way that they stand around. It could be the vessel as well. The vessel would have been a Lightner. So it makes sense that it could just be someone empty.
Crack theory. Sans is from a Deltarune timeline where everything went wrong. He ended up in Undertale. He finally fixes the machine he has in his basement after Pacifist, and now he's trying to subtly change things.
He could be. Thank you for the super chat. Okay, so another theory. The discarded vessel is the knight, but the souls are switched. The soul inside of the knight is Chris's original soul, and the soul that we have is the knight's original soul because it was the vessel. It could very well be that it is the vessel as well. Maybe cracked, but it makes sense. Because, like, look at the mannerisms, especially the soulless ones. I like that Chris and the knight are a farm in the same pose. Chris being knighted, the knight actually acknowledges you if you beat the fight. Chris only deals 1/3 of the usual damage to the knight. Chris points into the distance. Chris is not targeting the knight. Chris analyzed the enemies, but Chris couldn't learn anything because he already knows. Chris held their breath. Chris smiled, nothing happened. All according to class. Chris coughed. The enemy slowly tilted its head. Chris signaling to the knight to end the fight. That's the special dialogue if you no-hit it, by the way. Think of the knight. The image changes. The helmet begins to come off. About to see the knight's identity. Suddenly, you tried extremely hard to picture Jockington. Damn it! Thoughts blocked. It's a door. A large person could fit inside. Possibly the knight's hiding spot. Turn the doorknob. You turn the doorknob. You didn't do anything else. Chris refuses to open the door. Okay, so it might be the original vessel that is actually the Dark Knight, and the souls just switch places. The knight has to be a Lightner because it has to be able to travel in the overworld. Yeah, the knight is a Lightner for sure. Like, if the theory is true about Chris's soul in the knight, and the knight's is in Chris, then wouldn't that make the soul Des? If it is Des. If not, if it's the vessel, then Des is just missing. The antlers might absolutely be a red herring. Like, the more I think about it, the more I think that Toby's all playing us all for fools, and the vessel might be the knight. Also, something weird as dialogue during the church is that Kitty tells you about a horned boy, but the story never tells you about the horn, so it could be that Kitty is the knight. I don't think it's Kitty. Chris is absolutely working with the knight. Wait, the soul being Des kind of makes sense. It would be so dramatic for us to find out that we've been playing Des the whole time. Here's a reason why the soul is not Des. Monsters don't have souls that strong. It cannot be Des. It cannot be Des. Also, monsters have white hearts for souls, not red ones. So, if the knight is actually the vessel with Chris's original soul, that means that we don't know what happened to Des. Des might just be a red herring. Also, Noelle would have recognized Des's mannerism in Chris. Yeah, she would have. And Des being the soul would also not work with the weird route. I don't think that Des would abuse her sister. So I think that it might be the vessel, actually. It might be the original vessel with Chris's soul. Or no soul at all. Maybe this is what happens to a human without a soul. Prophecy explicitly says that the soul is human. Also, the way that ribcage opened, doesn't that look like a cage? It might be that the vessel is the knight and the horns are a red herring. I think that the roaring knight is what happens to a human vessel when it doesn't have a soul for too long. That could happen to Chris, and Chris might know that, which is why, begrudgingly, they keep the soul inside their body. Well, it is called the ribcage. Ayo! Remember the prophecy says the cage made from human parts. Yeah, the actual cage might be the roaring knight. Who's saying that Des isn't a human? After all, Chris used to wear horns all the time. Who's to say that Des is not a human wearing antlers? Could be, could not be. I think that Des is a monster, though. Mainly because the holidays are also both mentioned in Undertale. One theory I said to a few people a while ago is that the original 3 heroes were the Vessel, Des, and maybe Azrael. What if it's like Undertale with Flowey? What happens when someone without a soul gains the will to live? Yeah, what happens if a vessel that has no soul gains the will to live? That's why they act like we the player act sometimes. So yeah, it could be that the horns are a red herring completely and it's the vessel. Because why would we have made the vessel if we weren't going to use it, you know? That means that Toby has a plan for the character. It also makes sense why the Dreamers and the Holidays were such good friends, that they had the only 2 human children in town. Maybe, but we have no evidence to show that Des was a human.
The knight is Papyrus wearing an antler headband.
Why didn't he throw pasta at me then? Thank you for the super chat. The vessel is a massive Chekhov's gun. Honestly, it could be. I do think now, the more I think about it, the more I think, you know what? It might be a red herring. The Des thing might be a red herring. To me, the knight is very teenager coded, so they both do a lot to look cool, laughs at Susie to taunt her, things like that. Yeah, but that's something that we could do as well. That's a special move. Why would he waste it on such weaklings? Toby loves messing with expectations. Makes sense. That's what's so fascinating about all of this. All of these theories have merit. All of them do. Up to a point. It's just like completely up to Toby Fox what he's actually going to do with this. Because the entirety of the story is already written. What I do hope, though, and this is me saying this as a fellow creator, is I really hope that Toby sticks with his original idea and stays strong to his original plan for Deltarune and does not let himself be swayed by expectations or fan ideas, because that can destroy a story. Like, once you let the fans have too much say, it can really, really fuck with your original vision. So I really hope that Toby sticks to his guns. Toby, I'm just making shit up as I go. That would be so fucking funny, though. And, like, I'm not saying do stuff to please them. Even changing stuff to try to spite them can change the course of your entire story. Like, audience input is good. Audience feedback is good. However, you need to have enough conviction in yourself as a creator to do your own thing without letting the outside perspective fuck with you. That's what happened to FNAF. That's what happened to FNAF. That's also what happened to Homestuck. Homestuck, being the collective project that it was, had so much fan input that at the end of the day, I think that Andrew Hussey really, really struggled to make the story his own at the end. Fans say they know what they want to see or have happens. Fan knows shit most of the time. Yeah, I'm sorry to say, but this is true. As someone who is a creative myself that writes stories, sometimes I think to myself, why wouldn't this happen in the story? But then I take a step back and I'm like, well, the author probably has a reason for it. Gravity Falls is a good example of not letting a fandom change your story even if they predict your stuff. Oh yeah, Gravity Falls didn't change shit. Homestuck is a webcomic which had music, fun fact, made by Toby Fox. The music in Homestuck was made very early in Toby's career. Thank you for the sub! It happened to Westworld. Someone guessed the plot and they changed it. Yeah, like if someone guesses your story and they get it right, all you have to do is neither confirm or deny. Don't confirm, don't deny, just keep writing. The segment you didn't play contained a huge nod to wild fan theories. Yeah, like that was essentially Toby fucking with the fans, right? Is that why it was like made with like a mouse? Why the fuck would you change your story based on what your audience does? You'd be surprised the amount of times that happens. Insecurity, you want a different ending, you want to spite them, like... You want to please them. That's one of those risks that you run with a story that's developed like this, that's not completed from beginning to end when you release it.
I don't know, man. It has been almost 10 years of foreshadowing. I just want to finally meet my old man Gaster.
I'm gonna play Undertale again, and I'm gonna talk to Gaster. Thank you very much for super chat. And if Gaster is just someone speaking in Windings and that's it, I'm going to fucking smack the shit out of everyone in chat. If Gaster is a nothing burger in Undertale, I am going to fucking raise my eyebrows to Jupiter. I swear to God. If all of it is fan theories, I'm banning everybody. You should watch a video of what happens after the mic fight because it's really funny. If we have time, we can watch it. If someone can link me a video to the mic stuff, that might make things quicker. Like the fight and what happens after. Gaster's not someone you can talk with, Lily. What? Wait, Gaster's not an Undertale? Lily, there's a reason that Undertale fans went to the deep end for 10 years. He has one Easter egg and really nothing else. Banned immediately! Shadow Realm! He is and he isn't. No, bad. Anyway. I do think that the vessel is likely the knight. It might be a red herring for the horns. Let's move on. Okay. Asgore Dreamer is the Roaring Knight. Highly unlikely. This is due to largely in part of comments made by Asgore in Chapter 4 when you snoop in on him as the soul in the bathroom. Okay, let's see. I did not actually get this scene, so... The most famous one in comments was Armageddon 2001, where in the early 90s a reveal was leaked online, so DC changed the identity of the villain to someone who did not make sense. And ever since, DC keeps trying to make the original guy that had planned to be the villain into the villain. Some people think it's bad that the reveal can be predicted, so they'll throw it out and just keep it ahead of the fans. Dum-de-dum. Ooh, cleaning up sure works up an appetite. I wonder if the kitchen has any treats for me. Asgore.
I wouldn't try it. Meeting him is a 1 in 100th chance and all he does is disappear when you interact with him. He has some dialogue of him talking to two people in the code and he references Deltarune.
Then fucking Gaster is something that Toby made specifically to fuck with the fans. 1,000,000,000%. Thank you for the super chat. There's no fucking way that that's not all it is. I can't afford to take a break. Now more than ever, I need to concentrate on cleaning a toilet. To settle this once and for all. I've got to go look again. Gaster is 90% fan theories and fan creation. Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me. Grace is passed out. We're almost there, aren't we, old friend? This time for sure, Tori will finally see. See what really happened. That I just wanted to protect everyone. Wait a minute, Asgore, did you spawn the first Dark Fountain? And this time you'll have to believe me. Okay, Asgore, did you spawn the first Dark Fountain, the pure one? That would make sense as to why Rowsley exists as a prince alone, with no one there with him. Which lends even more credence to my fucking Asriel is dead theory. They want to replace their son. Maybe he used Asriel somehow, maybe they had something to do with Des, but maybe he was the one who started this whole mess. Asgore spawning the first fountain somehow makes sense. That definitely seems like I'm sorry I made the plot happen language. Yep, I didn't mean to, but it happened. That's actually a genius thought. It could be. Not to mention, both Toriel and Asgore seem to have crowns in the Dark World, even though they're Lighteners. So it's very likely, and the Lightener can make a Dark Fountain. It's very likely that the first fountain was made by mistake, and probably by Asgore. They all will. Then... we'll all be a happy family again, won't we? Hmm. It sure is beautiful, isn't it? This black shard. Okay, Carol has one. I really like that theory. It seems like it was an accident, though. I think that Asgore might have just found the knight when they attacked/kidnapped Des. That's why they got the black shard weapon. That you can only get that once you beat the knight.
To add on to my last message, the person who talks to us when we make our vessel and when we lose to the knight sound awfully similar to the way Gaster talked in the code.
I thought he talked in Windings.
There's also the Gaster followers that mention him.
Thank you very much for the super chat. I thought that he spoke in Windings. I really hope that Gaster is just something that that Toby's doing to fuck with the fandom, because that would be really, really, really funny. Wait, what if both Des and Asriel died, but Asgore told Chris that Asriel went to college? That's my theory, that Asriel is dead. Or Rowsley somehow. I don't think he's the knight, but I did think he did something by accident. Maybe Asriel is the core of that dark fountain that's different. Maybe his corpse is in the bomb shelter somewhere.
Honestly, a question I've had for a while. Who created the Grand Fountain? And if it wasn't created, why is it in the school closet?
You know who probably created it? It was either Asgore or Asriel themselves. Maybe he got stuck in the Dark World. Something happened. I think that Asgore was involved, though. Maybe he drank a beer. No! Chapter 4, Prophecies. Love finds the girl. Susie is the girl. In this theory, the general accepted theory is that Susie is the girl, and when it speaks about finding love, it's regarding her and Noelle's relationship, and seemingly mutual interest in one another. Especially coupled with how Susie is growing and repeatedly described as a beacon of hope, which is reinforced with Gerson and his tutelage. I personally don't believe this theory. I think that Noelle is the girl. Because love finds the girl is spelled in all caps, the way that it was in Undertale. I think that Susie is an important part to changing the prophecy, most likely, but a lot of people theorize that Susie might have an antagonistic role to play, because in changing the prophecy, she might change something vitally important about the story. So, for me, I think that the one that's actually the girl is Noelle. Des is the girl because we found Azrael's retainer in Des's room. They were totally going out. They were kissing!
My hope is that Asgore completely fumbles trying to win back Toriel, then in frustration, spikes his black shard on the ground like a football, then accidentally creates a dark fountain in his flower shop.
Wouldn't that be super in character, though? Wouldn't he absolutely do that, though? 1,000,000,000% he would. He's like, oh, whoops. It would be hilarious. And he would do it! And then he would just be like, what the fuck? I could see it. I could see it happening. I could definitely see it happening. It would be so funny. And the prophecy showing the heart over the girl could be foreshadowing that we will be controlling someone else. That's why I think it's Noelle. The soul is trying to fucking get its tendrils into Noelle. The soul is forcing Noelle to do things. It's almost taking over her. That's why I think that Love's Find the Girl is Noelle. Could possibly not be love, but level of violence. I think it's level of violence. I think he's gonna have to try something big and stupid to win back Toriel there, and then immediately make a Dark World. Okay, Noelle is the girl. In regards to this theory, it's based upon the Undertale's understanding of love, i.e. levels of violence, which ties to the weird root, and the soul / Chris making her grow stronger by freezing all of Cyber City, and then Birdley, who's an absolute Chad, by the way. He's dead! This theory is heavily supported by the weird route, as the soul seemingly forcing her to grow stronger, and then with the last image in the prophecy potentially acting like it's going to merge with her in the most common theory, which is something drawn from both the prophecy and the sword root in chapter 3. I believe this theory, personally, that if you do weird route, love finds the girl. But if you don't, it doesn't. Hi! He's in a coma. Birdley needs to get warmed up because he's freezing to death. Okay, we'll call them a chat. Dusky. Dusky wrote this. Pictured below, equipping the ring in chapter 4. There's a third theory going around regarding the prophecy, and in that theory is that this isn't the first time the prophecy has been foretold. In this theory, fans are taking it to mean that we are not the first ones to follow the prophecy, which would imply that our vessel from the start of the game was used for it to fulfill its needed part in the prophecy. Which would make sense if the knight is the vessel. Hi! Thanks so much for the follow. Well, that would make sense if the knight was the vessel, I think. Is the soul still drawn to Noelle even if you don't go weird route? It might be. I don't know if we've reached the point of the doc, but there's in theory the weird route is the original prophecy. I think that the weird route is the original prophecy. I personally subscribe to that theory, yes. Love finds the girl either way, but depending on what route is the actual love or level of violence. I think that, yeah, I think that if you do the normal route, it's love, and if you do the weird route, it's levels of violence. Maybe weird route love finds the girl, but in passive as it's just love, Susie. I think so, I think so. The Crucies are in shambles. Excited for the 2.0 debut, only 4 more days. Oh, I know! I like that theory. I like it too. I like it too. I'm gonna have to actually like start baking my cakes soon. Okay. Jockington. Jockington's family totally names him after the prophecy, due to the prophecy of him growing a beard. Rowsley is aware of the player's existence, or at least that there's something else beyond Chris watching, as referenced by the various times that they ask you to think about someone else and close your eyes, with the only mandatory time being in chapter 1, which was you coming back to Rowsley saying, so that's why, okay, Chris? Rowsley uses this time to either talk to Chris without us prying, or, as shown in chapter 4, to run away to do something. So Rowsley doesn't want the player to get the full picture, and this is very shown.
Item heading to bed. It's 1 a.m. Happy theorizing.
Thank you! Thank you for the super chat. Okay, so like I do believe this, that at least in Weird Route, Rowsley knows that the player is dangerous, and the player is gonna try and fuck with something. Rowsley seems to want to help out Chris and Susie whenever possible, but they might not feel the same way about the soul. The soul in Weird Route is like weirdly aggressive and drawn to violence, so Rowsley might be doing something behind our back. He's always been kind of cagey, like Rowsley hides things, and it's really, really obvious that they hide things. So it's either gay or murder. Yes! The love in all caps interesting because of Noelle. She's the only one who can kill darkness by freezing them. Normally before they run away after reaching 1 HP. If you tell Rowsley you want to go with Noelle to the festival, he says that might be a terrible idea. Yeah, Rowsley knows about us. I think he knows in all routes. He knows we exist in chapter 3. Yeah. I think we still don't know what Rowsley was looking for in chapter 4. I do genuinely think that Rowsley knows about the soul, and that's part of the reason why he's being super cagey. Okay. The next series is The Identity of Mike. Mike is a character first mentioned by Spamton upon visiting the Chopped in chapter 2, saying, "We don't need Mike." Mike is again mentioned during the Spamton sweepstakes if you put in the URL deltarune.com/damnyoutenna, and you'll be taken to a page where Spamton goes on a whole rant about how he blames everything on Tenna with a hidden text at the bottom, only noticeable if you try to highlight that area of the page. It reads as follows. We're actually doing this. That damn boob tube! You're the one that should be having a refreshing nighttime sleep in the recycling bin. Everything is his. Everything is his fault. Pay. Everyone is going to. Everyone is going to pay 5 easy payments of $9.99 until they're all in the disposal area begging for my shit. Everyone except Mike. Oh! So there was toxic yaoi here. There was toxic. They had to be the nastiest breakup on the planet. Hate sex, and then I hate you screaming and leaving. Wait, Toby made a whole gag page? How much hate does he have for his players? This isn't hate, this is just passion for trolling.
Growing the beard is a famous trope where a series or character becomes more popular after a specific change. It refers to a character in Star Trek, The Next Generation literally growing a beard between season 1 and 2 and becoming a more popular character after. Toby
might have some big plans for Jockington. It might be the case that Jockington is going to have a bigger role to play later. Like, you guys have to understand something about Toby Fox, okay? He's an enigma. He is an absolute fucking enigma. I think that part of the thing that makes making stories for him so fun is watching the fans scramble. So that's why he does shit like this. Like in chapter 2, Mike does not make an actual appearance in chapter 3. That being said, the constant mentioning of and orders for him by Tenna indicate that he plays a consistent role in managing his game shell throughout the entirety of the chapter. Though, near the end of the chapter, in the wake of Tenna's employees all settling on and departing from him, Mike also chooses to follow suit. In the green room area of Castle Town, a door-leveled Mike's room appears. Entering the room makes the first Mike question why Chris is in their space, which prompts a battle. During the battle, the 3 Mikes reveal themselves, then try to get rid of Chris for knowing the secret that there are 3 of them. After the battle, they talk about how they've been taking turns being Mike, and then comment that it doesn't matter who the real Mike is.
BTW, you get this page by clicking in the divorce page.
Hey, baby, thank you for the super chat. It doesn't matter who the real Mike is. They asked the party desperately who Mike is, to no avail. If Tenna was given to Metenton, Susie will tell Mike that Tenna is no longer in Castletown, so they leave, no longer forced to be Mike anymore. It is implied that a large photorealistic microphone could be the real Mike upon further walking into the darkness of Mike's room. So I haven't done the Mike fight yet, because I saw the mouse thing and I immediately noped the fuck out. But it does make sense that they would be looking for Tenna. Another thing for context, the Spamton sweepstakes that was a charity funding event that teased and revealed a lot of things for chapter 3. That's where Elnina and Lenina were first revealed. Also, it had someone dressed as Spamton. It was cursed as fuck. I really like how Spamton has become this character that the fandom fucking loves and also hates at the same time. For Mike, I think I would have to see his boss fight to have more thoughts on this. Okay. The significance of pink and gold and friend. Pink and gold are 2 colors that appear together all over Deltarune, in both obvious, Spamton's glasses, and subtle, Gerson's hair and eye color ways. Their significance is not yet known, but it is highly suspected that those colors have some relation to achieving freedom, as they even make appearances in Undertale, leading you to the true pacifist ending, which ends in the monsters breaking free from the underground. Their most mysterious appearance in Deltarune so far being the inclusion as the eye color of the mysterious image friend, a grinning, cat-like face that appears on one frame in certain areas of the game and most prominently featured during the Aram boss fight of the Sword Girl. I hated that thing. I hated that thing. This thing. That thing. Ugh. You see Mike, you see that fucking thing everywhere. Everywhere.
Before you debut your new model, I just wanna say I'm happy I found your channel since Princess Peach Showtime. You're very funny and a talented artist. And also cute. Might be the ears.
Oh, thank you. That's super sweet. Thank you for the super chat. Hopefully I'll see you on Thursday. It's gonna be so much fun. Yeah, pink and yellow spare and flee. Pink and gold are the two possible spare option colors in Undertale. Gerson in Undertale. And then Gerson in Deltarune, the only character that has appeared in Undertale and had their appearance color scheme altered. I'm old. I love Gerson, leave me alone. Chapter 5, the Field of Pink and Gold. They are two colors that get mentioned quite a bit. Gerson mentions the pink of pink and gold. Susie and Noelle's character portraits in battle are also pink and gold. I genuinely think that Chapter 5 is going to be about Asgore. We love old people here. We love Gerson. So their character portraits are pink and gold. Two mouse on the Switch version of Deltarune are pink and gold. I hated that. I hated that. Asgore wears pink. His prize flower is gold. Spamton's glasses. Wealth and money attracts love and romance. Spamton sweepstakes that I actually didn't do. What? Cat Mike has the highest score. What's wrong with you making people think Mike is a cat? I swear you people see pink and yellow and think, oh, a friend. Being a friend doesn't make you them yours. Those teeth, they bite. Curious Mike dialogue. Friend during Rouse's explanation of the nature of the dark world. The friend is horrifying, by the way. Absolutely fucking terrifying. That might be... You know what I think? The shopkeeper that's collecting the black shards that's gonna make like a weapon for us, he might be a boss too. He might actually be like the true... This might be the true form of that shopkeeper. Friend during Rouse's explanation of the nature of the dark world. Ah! Image underscore friend. Toby, why? Cat Mike's costumes features pink and gold eyes. Cat friend. Ditto during the Aram boss fight. That cat thing is gonna come up again, and it's gonna be a boss or something. There's several resemblances between Friend and Seam. Yeah, I think that Sean is gonna be a boss. It looks like an Undertale amalgamation monster found in Alfie's lab. Could also be an Undertale reference. Friend is fucking horrifying. That thing is terrifying. Sorry, fear gags. Stop it. But yeah, pink and gold is another thing to mention. God, we were just desperate for information for 4 years, huh? Like, we just really needed stuff for Deltarune for 4 years, huh? Which leads me to, like, my next part of the doc, which might end up being my favorite, depending on how funny it is. Which is... the schizo theories, also known as... It's been 4 years, dear God, give us something. This is the schizo theories, so let's see what they are. Crack theories. Pluie. What the fuck? Based on a tweet. Jesus. Based on a tweet by Toby posted in mid-February 2025. This caused people to go absolutely batshit insane, speculating what Pluie could possibly be. It's like the peepees. Making up the wildest theories about Pluie being code, possibly the identity of Mike or Friend and even Tenna. Still console testing, there are fewer bugs, there's been a lot to go through, haven't even tested PS5 yet. In addition to chapters 3 and 4, we also need to implement Pluie. Pluie might just be a code thing. Twitter user @NeoShootingStar posted a pixelated green lemon with a face, jokingly writing my Pluie fan art, which quickly became the generally used appearance of Pluie in fandom. Oh, we can't leave you guys alone for more than a few weeks without more information. Is this what happens when you guys have nothing to work with? Like, just years and years and years after a fucking cliffhanger? Yes, you guys lost the fandom. See, this, I'm immune. I was immune from this until recently, because now I'm there with you. Now I'm wearing the clown wig also. But Christ, ma'am, it wasn't weeks. It was years. Damn it, start for information. That's a lemon. You might have gone a tad insane. Oh, that's so fucking funny. Guys, look, it's Pluie. Es un limón! Welcome to the clown show. I'm so glad to be here. You can say things as a fan with apparent authority, and you can accidentally spawn genuine memes people take as genuine. Like the fucking lemon? 3.5 fucking years. Christ. Hundreds of weeks. There's like 200, you're fine. Okay, Pluie. So Pluie's a lemon. The subreddit... I swear I'm not making fun of you, but I feel you so much. Because when Homestuck had a 9-month hiatus, this also happened. You guys don't understand. The Undertale fandom has like a branch of the Homestuck fandom in it, and when Homestuck was paused for 9 months, people popped off. Like, Andrew Cussy could not say a word without people immediately being like, was this gonna be in the comic? What's gonna happen? Like, I feel you guys because I was there! I was there during the Giga pause. It was 9 months of fucking silence. It sucked. It was a whole entire fetus! This also happens to the Hollow Knight fandom. My condolences. Full of crazies. Oh yeah, no! We were. I'm sorry. The Homestuck DNA remains. The Homestuck DNA is never leaving the premises. Like, do you understand me? The Homestuck DNA will never leave the premises! Never!
When the video comes, we need to have a small clip of Randy Feltface saying I am not making this up.
This is a level of insanity that I genuinely did not at all. I'm not surprised, but I also didn't expect it. Thank you for the super chat. Meow. You can tell that Dusky was hitting her head against the desk while she and Sharky were typing this all up. That poor Popoto. Oh, I can see Dusky, like, the fucking twitching, the fucking vein in her temple about to pop. The subreddit spent months trying to figure out what Pluie could possibly be, while Toby kept adding fuel to the fire. The worst part is that Toby Fox was also around during those Homestuck days, so he knows exactly how to whip these people into a frenzy. Like, Toby... fucking Christ. Toby probably saw all of this and was like, fuck yeah, I can get my kicks in somehow. Toby kept adding fuel to the fire with cryptic tweets such as, we have implemented Pluie and we have killed Pluie, only for chapter 3 and 4 to launch and reveal that Pluie is simply the name of Cat Mike. Toby! Pluie, put on your shoe. Hey, and sprint. It's raining cats and cats. Being closer to the ones cat controls, mouse only. Toby Fox. Tobias Fox. Okay, the next schizo theory, Jesus Christ, is friend inside me. On September 23rd, 2019, Toby Fox posted a comedic remix of You've Got a Friend in Me by Randy Newman, in which the lyrics are remixed to have Newman sing Friend Inside Me. And the music grows increasingly eerie. Why can't Toby have hobbies? Why can't Toby have hobbies? Why isn't Toby Fox allowed to make a fucking meme for his Twitter without the fandom being like, Deltarune? Like, were you guys like vibrating like from withdrawal and foaming at the mouth like, oh my god, Toy Story is in Deltarune? Let this poor man have a hobby. His hobby is shitposting. Oh, I love this. The main theory was largely spread by YouTuber Spooky Dude on April 5th, 2023 in a video titled Deltarune Chapter 3 Secret Boss Solved. I'm gonna mash my head against this desk. I'm just gonna... Like... I'm gonna fucking cry! Woody theory. The video begins with the YouTuber discussing how, according to Fox's Deltarune newsletter, a cowboy section of the game was in danger of being cancelled. We know that this is the Chapter 3 segment. The YouTuber purports that he and the others in the fandom found the wording of the announcement strange. This poor man can't even talk about his game's development without people going full schizo. So Woody theory is not completely wrong. Tenna's whole plotline is very similar to Woody's in Toy Story. I sent you the song, by the way. You need to hear it. Oh, I do know that Tenna has a very similar plotline, but, like, this is hilarious. He admits it could be nothing, but he also theorizes that Toby could be teasing a secret boss battle from Chapter 3, causing a spread of memes that Woody would appear as the puppet master pulling the strings. Disney would have ganked him so hard. 3.5 years, Lily! Seriously? My condolences. Now I need to hear at least a snippet of this song. Toby, why? Let's listen to this fucking garbage. Now I need to see. Toby. Toby. Tobias. Toby. Yeah, like, Toby's powerful enough to work with Pokemon, but I think that if he did something with Disney's IP, they would gank him. Alright, let's listen to this mess. Isn't that copyrighted, Lily? Why do you think I'm pausing? This isn't copyrighted, Disney. This is Toby Fox's shitpost. Absolute cinema. I can't with this. I can't with the schizo theories. I'm losing my shit. Toby! Why? This reeks of all the PokeTubers that got clout clicks on supposed leaks. Ironically, an IP that Toby was also involved in. Yeah! They're all real. They happened! I fucking, like... Deltarune fandom, I'm so sorry. I actually made an unhinged doodle of, like, Susie and Noelle earlier, but I didn't finish it. This is Homestuck coded as fuck. This is Toby going back to his roots. Why not? No time. This is so Homestuck coded. It's not even funny. Oh my god. This is Toby going back to his Homestuck roots to make something cursed and unhinged to put in a flash. There was shit like this in Homestuck constantly, by the way, so I'm not surprised that Toby did this. Blech. There's a thing. There's a cutscene in Chapter 3 where Tenna talks about Asgore's favorite cowboy puppet show being cancelled, so this theory's somehow the one of the closer ones. Schizo as fuck! Toby, why? Why are you like this? You probably made this for Tenna. Stop it. I think that Toby just gets his kicks out of fucking with people. I do. I think so. I think that Toby, like, lives to fuck with people. I do. Jockington is the true antagonist. 3 years is a long time. 3 years is a long time, chat. Based on 2 parts of the prophecy, probably hinting that Jockington growing a beard would result in his ascension to World Ender. Jockington grows the beard. They will see the tail of hell take crawl. That's Jevil. That's Jevil, though. That's not Jockington, that's Jevil. 3 years is a hell of a long time for you guys to go without information. So the schizo theories are like the microphones. The schizo theories are something else. This crack theory maxing. Chris is healing based on Moss theory. The healing Chris received from the different characters' T's available in Chapter 2 is not based on Chris's perception of said character as a friend, but what their stance on Moss eating it. I think I'm having a stroke. Okay. Plus 120. Actively partakes in the consumption of green ichor. Embraces the sustenance it brings. Moss bros plus 35. Base healing is 50. 70. Doesn't understand why Chris looks so pleased upon finding and consumption of moss. Could only be tricked into eating for the forbidden green. Plus 20 would be funny. 60. Confused by the ingestion of moss. Does not judge. Plus 0. Could not be tricked into enjoying the delightful taste of bridal pies. Plus 0. Robe is green like moss. Plus 10 for cute points. What is happening here? The fuck is this? This is the schizo theories. This is like the most schizo shit in the universe. Like, the original Starwalker is W.D. Gaster. I'm the original Starwalker. I'm Gaster. Like, Do we need, like, a sticky hand to reach toward the end of the universe? Anything for Gaster in this game. I hope he never shows up. It would be super funny. Like, I hope that, like, Gaster is just a thing that Toby's been using to fuck with the fandom. Bro, like, yeah, that's not Gaster. That's just reaching. This is where the cocaine got used. This is the most schizo thing so far. This is, like, literally the most schizo thing so fucking far. Holy shit. Chat! Oh, YouTube chat got stuck.
It's mostly misinformation, but Gaster denying in the big 2025 is funny because the first thing we get from the narrator before getting the game is "Have you been looking for me?"
I think that's just Toby fucking with people, though. I thought that park was a joke! Gaster shows up for 5 seconds at the end of the credits. Oh, there we go. Thank you very much for the super chat. It's his distraction for data miners. That would be so fucking funny. Gaster is Toby. I think Gaster is Toby. I think Gaster is like Toby's fucking out persona to fuck with people. Morning, Lily. Do you subscribe to the theory that Sands and Vampires came from Deltarune? Oh, you mean Undertale? I think it could be the case, yes. But the dog. The Starwalker thing. I don't remember finding this thing. Okay. Hollow Knight and Deltarune are connected. Silksong is never coming out because Hornet is too busy being the Roaring Knight. Hornet is the Knight theory. That's it. Well, that's what's going to happen. Silksong is never going to come out. Never. Never happening. Because it's in Deltarune. I really hope that Silksong comes out next year. Or this at the end of this year, at least. Watch Toby be announced to be working with Game Freak for the next Pokemon, and Gen 10's champion is named Gaster. Watch Toby, like, completely fucking ignore Deltarune for 5 years to work on Pokemon. This one smells of desperation. I think this one is a joke. It's not happening. It's never happening. We're all clowns. I mean, your Luckstat already had hopes so far on Silksong. Yeah, my Luckstat did something. Lily just realized that's something. The color of Chris, Susie, and Noelle is the color of Tradic, and if we had Noelle as the Terratic color, it's just funny color theory thing I noticed. The fandom would turn rabid, Lily. I really hope that we do get Silksong. I think that's it for the theories, though. The schizo ones are particularly enlightening. Remember that Sans uses the doors in Deltarune to teleport in Undertale? Oh, yeah! I'm losing my shit here. That's so fucking funny.
Out of curiosity, do you know about what the Gaster followers say about Gaster in Undertale?
I don't. Like, see, here's the thing, right? Gaster being a character that's, like, that may or may not be in Undertale, I can see that as, like, a thing that happens. But Gaster being, like, talked about as this, like, super important thing in Deltarune, and to me, it makes no sense. Because most of what's happening with Gaster seems to be, like, 90% fan theories. If we had something a little bit more solid, I would believe in it. But I think, genuinely, that it's just the way that Toby fucks with the fans. I do. I'm sorry. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, the rest should be memes. I think we're gonna do memes some other day, but, like, I want Deltarune memes. I want to do a Deltarune meme review, so I need people to send me memes. Because I think that, like, there is a lot of genuinely unhinged and funny Deltarune memes out there, so I definitely want to fucking, we already have over 50 for you. Perfect, more. We have so many memes it's not even funny. Dusty's gonna have a field day. I need, like, the fucking best memes that Deltarune has, because we're gonna have to do a meme review. The schizo theories are the best because they either tie the most unrelated stuff together in a way that makes an unfathomable amount of sense, or they're completely illegible. Would you ever consider a Skong meme review when Skong actually comes out? I do genuinely think it's gonna have to be before this year is over. Otherwise, like, why the fuck did they keep teasing it? But yeah, like, that's a lot of theories for Deltarune. A lot. A lot of which I think might make sense. But, like, here's the thing, right? We don't know when the game is gonna end. It could be 2 years, it could be 5. And at the rate that Toby's going, it seems to be moving a bit quicker, at least. But we don't know. We really don't know. It'll be nice to go buy the game on December 31st. Hey, baby!
Hear me out, another theory stream, but it's about Gaster next time.
No, I would end up hating Gaster if that happens. Thank you for the super chat. Like, I'm already like, the fucking vein in my forehead is twitching because I'm like, where are you guys getting this information? It's all fan theory.
Said, back in 2016, the official website had wingdings that were the beginning of the prophecy. Keep in mind that was years before Deltarune CH1 shadow dropped by the mysterious voice.
I really like that the first chapter of Deltarune was fucking shadow drop. Thank you very much for the super chat. I expect at this point Nintendo's applying pressure because they are tired of all their directs being drowned in the Where's Silk song, but I thought it was gonna come out on Xbox. You gotta admit, the Moss theory had some very good points. For fuck's sake. Well, my YouTube chat died. You guys should still be able to see it, but I can't see it on my end. Sorry, Gaster Bros, it's bait. Toby trolled it. I want more concrete information before I decide if Gaster's a thing that could happen in Deltarune, you know? Be as immersive as possible. Do a Gaster theory stream, but block the word Gaster. Except Chris doesn't heal. No. But the schizo theories are genuinely so fucking funny. I can't believe we actually did manage to make like a whole entire stream just for Deltarune theory crafting. Like, holy shit. My final thought and most crackhead theory is that the prophecy is being retold with Chris, Susie, and Rowsley. After the first attempt went wrong with the vessel, Des and Azrael. Could be. Okay. And we barely scratched the surface. Is there more? There's like 40 long video about all the gas-related things made by Lorefact TV. Like, is all of it fan theory, though? There's probably more fan lore than the actual lore at that point. That's the thing that, like, I want to know. Because if it's just, like, fucking 90 minutes of fan lore and 2 minutes of actual lore, then it's like, no. Let's just watch the mic fight. Real quick before we go. There's a lot of Gaster stuff, but it just doesn't go anywhere. Like, I don't know how much I would actually rely on the data mining, though. Because it could be that Toby's putting shit in there to fuck with people. We're only gonna really do the fight, I think. I want to see how it works. Oh, you have to scream into your microphone for... Oh.
No, most of the theories about Gaster come from the information given to us from the games and tweets.
Oh, did Toby tweet about it? Thank you for the super chat. I looked for one video about Gaster. Stay away from that side of the theories. The prophecy is wrong 3 times. Chris is caged, but not made out of parts. Noel's supposed to be the hero, but Susie replaced her. And Rousey's a lonely prince, but no longer. Yeah, the prophecy's gonna change. We can't see the screen right now. I don't think I can find a good enough... I can't find a good video for the Mike Boss fight, and it is different on PC, so I might have to play that one on my own later. Robbie RPS's Gaster before each chapter was released. Gaster hijacks the Undertale Twitter account every time a new chapter drops. There's a 3.5-minute video on the actual UT Gaster stuff. No theories involved. So that's how much you get, 3 minutes. A lot of Gaster info comes from the Grey Goner monster, who speaks of him and what happened to him, as well as the wrong number song from the music tester. Okay, okay. It's stuff like secret characters talking about Gaster and Sans blasters being called Gaster blasters and stuff. Oh. Before Undertale's release, Toby tweeted as Flowey. Interesting. So Gaster might be involved in some way. But maybe he's involved in, like, past the fourth wall type of vibe. Like, he's not in the game, but he talks to the player directly. The Grey Gooner monster. Ew. To some degree, yeah. I feel like if Gaster is involved, he's gonna be involved in a very, like, breaking the fourth wall type of way. Yeah, like, he might be the narrator, but that's it. Because, like, it happened with the night that someone was speaking to us. That could have been Gaster. But it could have been Toby. Lily's mind is being blown. I think it's important to be open-minded. But that's why I wanted to know how much of it was fan theory. Most people are sure that he was the guy you were talking to when making the vessel because of the speech patterns. Main theory is that Gaster's moving to a new prophecy forward. I feel like Gaster's really similar to G-Man. I think that Gaster might be the narrator, but that's it. He might not actually physically be in Deltarune. Gaster man. The prophecy can still be technically right if Chris is the prince, and Susie is the girl, and Rousey is the angel, and the soul is what it is. By the way, now that I have everyone here in chat and we're just chatting shit for a bit, yeah, how would you guys feel about a Dragalia Lost character review? I know that game has been shut down for a while, but I know that it was a pretty popular gacha, so I'm curious as to what the units actually looked like. I never got into it. I loved it. That'd be neat. I'd be down. I played that one for a bit. I never got to play it, and then they shut it down, and it was like, what?
It may or may not be Gaster, but there is a character referred to as him who's the person who narrates the vessel creation and also may or may not be the guy who gives you the secret eggs.
The guy that gives you the secret eggs is Toby, I think. Thank you very much for the super chat. I've seen the new Zenless stuff too, by the way. I've seen some of it. I haven't played the game, and I don't know if I'm gonna go back to it, but I've seen some of it. Bye! In terms of Deltarune, there's still stuff like him being behind the Shadow Crystal stuff, like revealing to Jevil his world in a game. I would love that, and I played it from launch to closing. There's lots of units, both humans and dragons, and also the game was crowned by Nintendo. Co-owned by Nintendo. Oh, speaking of which, I forgot to do this. So, what do you guys think about, this is the YouTube outro, by the way, for Wave. What do you guys think about the Deltarune fan theories? Do you think any of these schizo ones have merit? Do you guys have any schizo theories? Put them in the comments. Let me know. Fight your demons. Get schizo with it. It's always fun to see the unhinged stuff that the fandom can come up with, because you know what? 3 years is a long time. And who knows how much longer we're gonna have to wait. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, let me know your thoughts. Go get gamer subs with code KinkyMation. Christmas in July sale should still be going a little bit right about now. By the time the video comes out, it might not be. But go get gamer subs anyway. All right, YouTube out. Post your crack theories in the comments. I want them to. If there's any, like, other schizo theories out there, I need to see them. Because, like, holy shit, the Moss one was hilarious. The comments are gonna get weird. It's the Deltarune fandom. I expect it.
Gaster theme in UTIs called him .dog, the first Deltarune teaser ever is called him .png, the music during the Vessel/Goner Maker creator is called Another Him.
Like, how much, like, here's the thing, how much cope is it for the fandom that it's not just Toby's placeholder file names? Thank you for the super chat. It's like, whenever I'm making anything, sometimes if I'm making stuff that isn't for comic pages, I do use placeholder names. It could be Gaster, it could not be. We have no way to know. I think that he could be the narrator at least, though. I hope you know that the mic fight references Friend Inside Me directly. God damn it. Love God. Woo! Let's get weird, dude. Every time. The who Dr. Gasser is and why it matters to Deltarune video is a nice guide to understand the actual evidence versus theory. Yeah. I want the actual evidence. I don't want the fan theories. But we won't know until the end. It would be hilarious instead of file he uses Gaster, just to throw people off. Tammy once tweeted about Gaster only to act like she never did and was confused by the name. Of course she did. Lily, the same guy literally references the same song When It Rains somewhere else like 5 years later. I don't think that's coincidence, no. Probably not, but I also do know that Toby likes to fuck with people, so... I do think that Gaster could be the narrator, at least. That would make sense. But, like, here's the thing. He was in Undertale for, like, 2 seconds, so... Either he was never meant to be in Undertale and he was supposed to be a bigger part of Deltarune, or you're just fucking with everybody. Dragalia has about 150 characters before shutting down. There was a lot of costumes and powered up forms. I think that with Dragalia, we would look at the base designs first, and then if the video does well, we can do skins. Like, I still haven't done skins for Reverse 1999, I think. He appeared in Undertale for a few seconds and he aura farmed in so little time. Yeah, to the point that, like, people actively obsess over the character, which is very funny. It's a shame, but that's what happens with live service games. Yeah, like, that's why the Stop Killing Games initiative is pretty important, so you can keep playing stuff like that. For example, one of the gachas that I genuinely enjoyed playing because it was really, really fun was called World Flipper. It was, like, about pinball, and that shut down last year, and I don't think I can play it anymore. And that makes me really, really sad, because I had a lot of really good units, and I really, really loved the game. The art style was goated. So I think that's why we need shit like Stop Killing Games. Just keep a version of the game up that people can still play. Both options seem swell. I played World Flipper 2, Gacha Pinball. It was really, really cute. World Flipper was awesome. I really liked it, and now I can't play it anymore. Have you seen the Reverse 1999 and the Assassin's Creed trailer? Oh, they did something together? That's hilarious. I really like gacha collabs, because you get the most unhinged shit sometimes. If they made a standalone offline Dragalia Lost and charged like 20 bucks for it, it would sell like hotcakes. I would play it. I would buy it. I would like buy if like for like $5 or $10, I would buy back World Flipper and just keep playing it like every single unit. It shut down? Yeah. Like, I have mad respect for the Atelier people because they had a gacha that died and now they're making it into an actual video game. Like, instead of just leaving the gacha dead in the dust, they're making an actual game out of it. Yeah, the Atelier people had a gacha that failed, and it got shut down. But instead of getting rid of it, they just grabbed all of the stuff from it and are making an actual video game with it. Would you review one of the more of the Reverse 1999 outfits someday? Maybe. I mean, the video did pretty well. But yeah, this one was a gacha. And they actually ended up making an actual game out of it instead of just leaving it like end of service. So like they made an actual video game with the assets and stuff. Like they actually, I think that they actually changed it to have a story, and they added items, lore. They literally reworked it from the ground up to make it an actual video game, made the fighting more robust, and just like ironed out any of the gacha problems to actually make it serviceable as an actual video game. So mad props to Koei Tecmo for this, is actually Koei Tecmo, for actually doing this instead of just leaving the gacha dead in the water. Wait, is this the crafting game Bro was really obsessed with? Yes. But this is a version based off a gacha that did not make it. You get a feel? Maybe you could look at the Dragalia Lost trailer of the start of the design review, of course. Yeah, at the start I would look at it. I own almost all the Atelier games. I want at least one. So like, yeah, like the gacha characters are all there, but I think you can get them all in game. It used to be one of those gacha battle systems where you just tap the skill and that's it. I actually found out about this from Hubby because he finds out everything and he was like, did you know that there was an Atelier gacha that died and they're making it into an actual video game now? And I was like, wait, really? And he was like, yeah. So now they really fleshed out the combat, the world, the exploration, and it's an actual game now. I really wish more gachas would do this. Like, something that I genuinely wish for... And this is mainly because I did like the game quite a bit when it first came out. I really hope that MiHoYo, if and when Genshin ends service, leaves us a way to play offline. Could you imagine how sad it would be if Genshin Impact ever hits an end of fucking service and you lose everything? I would fucking cry. I might not play Genshin right now, but I have a shit ton of units in that game that I fucking built so I could actually play the thing back when I was still active, and it would make me so upset if I lost that. So I do hope that MiHoYo has some contingency plan for their gacha so you can keep playing them even offline. Me, if it was Arknights. Yeah, every gacha should do this, by the way. With all characters on live. No, but I had a lot of them. I had a lot of characters in Genshin Impact. Like, right up to fucking Fontaine, I had a shit ton of units. I wish Hoyo would make an actual video game instead of just gacha. We can always dream. Maybe they will someday. I don't think so, but maybe. I do genuinely think that they're way too greedy for that, sadly. But yeah, this used to be a gacha, and now it's an actual game. This is wonderful for the consumer. This is a great way to take a gacha and its characters, and instead of leaving it being a failed product, you take something and you make something different out of it. Like, seriously, mad props to Koei Tecmo for this. Capcom released an offline version of Mega Man and X5. I think that gacha companies should have offline versions of games. Cute. The Red Alchemist and the White Guardian. This one's gonna come out, this one's coming out next month, actually, so I might give it a shot just to see and, like, look at footage from the OG gacha just to see what they changed. What do you think about the Death Trunk theory? I don't think that she got hit with any car. Is she a pink thing or an orange thing? She's an orange thing. And with that, chat, I think I will leave for tonight. I will let you know if I see you tomorrow. I will try and at least stream once before the debut. I am pretty busy, but I will let you guys know. Everything is proceeding according to plan. I'm gonna try and squeeze some more stuff in there before the debut time, but I will see. I'll let you guys know, all right? Have an amazing evening, afternoon, morning. It's 5 p.m. somewhere. Don't shrimp, go drink some water, and have a great rest of your weekend, everybody. I'll see you soon. Love you. Bye!